Uh-oh. Hello. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh dear. Looks like I cannot connect onto Twitch. Oh, connecting? Shoot. Shoot. Well. Well. Bum, 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 bum. Hello, hello. Sorry, having a bit of scuff. Let's see. Hello, Kaiju. Welcome to the stream. A bit of a chill short stream tonight because I just remembered tomorrow's Comic Fiesta. I forgot tomorrow was Comic Fiesta. Let's see. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, I need to tell Blue Sky I'm streaming. So many things to tell to remind people I'm doing things. Damn. I can't go, but have fun tomorrow. Oh yeah, you're on the other side of the ocean. But yeah, thanks. You're a Comic Fiesta. No, you're a Comic Fiesta. Right. I'm gonna wait for a little bit, for a little longer, just a little while. So. Give myself a little bit of a warm-up. Fun fact, I am currently actually a bit loopy because I had to take a bunch of pills. It was the last few of my pills for my rash. It was some of the medication causes sleepiness, and then I also had to take a Panadol which also makes me sleepy. So my brain's working at like 5%. Well, hello everyone. How y'all doing? I just did a job interview. Shakes. Hey, sheep. I cannot wait to talk about all our favorite boys. All our boys. all our boys. I need to take this away. All our favorite boys. What's Autumn as Eclipse's heavily medicated opinion on the boys? This is gonna fuck up my brain. 5%, so up from normal. Shut up. Shut up. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm also gonna be turning this into like a YouTube video. I'm gonna edit this down into a YouTube video. Say hi to YouTube chat if you want to do the thing. Why do I have Premiere Pro open? Turn that off. I'm gonna close Discord, so if anyone has any message for me to read on Discord, just let me know in chat. Oh yeah, hello. Hi, future me. Okay. God, I need to turn on jester mode for a second. I need to be funny. I have to talk in the YouTube voice. Give me a second, guys. Hello, guys. It's me. I don't know. I need to be as obnoxious as possible because this is going to be turned into a YouTube video. Hello, everyone. This is the Autumn S Eclipse heavily medicated fucking male tier list that I'm doing because I just want to. And I need a video to be out before December ends or else I explode. So this is actually like a tier list that I found, that I just found just by searching up on Google. It says here it's up to CN included, updated to chapter 14, but I still had to add like a few extra stuff because more male operators were released by then. I had to add up until like bobbing here, until Thorn's altar. How it's gonna work for the males that aren't in like the server yet, I'm just gonna talk about them in terms of like how excited I am for them to be in global, and also just like from what I have seen from the little like, you know, fucking little translated stuff that I went ahead to look for. So yeah. The rules of this tier list is whatever I want. I'm either going to evaluate them based on how good they are in battle or how I like their character, and that's it. Which one? Who knows? Who's to say? I'll probably flip-flop. You won't know. Fuck you. I need to put up fucking YouTube chat here. Yeah, you guys are. Alright, first one's already. Again, this is going to be like a bit of a short stream because I forgot tomorrow was convention day. So yeah. Give me a second. So first one's actually like already a pretty like iconic one. Silver Ash. I don't know if it's like kind of hard to believe for I don't know what newer people our players' opinions on Silver Ash is now, because I remember when Arknights first started, he was like the husbando. He was very obviously the female player bait fucking husbando guy, CEO Wattpad boyfriend kind of character that Arknights wanted to have to entice the ladies, I guess. To get them going. And I remember during like the earlier days of Arknights, he was actually very meta. Daddy Birdman. Did he? Yeah, exactly. He was meant to be like that kind of character, right? And back then he was like very meta. There was like a joke at the beginning of the game life cycle where the joke was that like if you got Silver Ash you won the game. Because his whole deal about making like AoE arts damage was kind of insane back then. I started because of him. Yeah, I like Silver Ash was just like the character. He was marketing strat works, yeah. it got the ladies and the and the gay people into Arknights. Yeah. It works though. So like he has a bit of like that kind of iconicness to it that a character like him could get. But I don't know if he's like and like saying that he's irrelevant now is also kind of inaccurate because he has his events, he has his story events which kind of flesh him out really well. I do like his story events, even though I was very harsh on him in the Courier video. That was on purpose. That was on purpose. But so he's not like really irrelevant now, and especially with his module now, he's still like the guy. He's still very reliable, I think. Like he's still like a very much prominent character, in my opinion. The thing is though is that like even back then, even from the beginning, I wasn't like too into him, to be honest. Like I thought he was cool, but like his specific archetype didn't appeal to me at the time. So I felt very ambivalent towards him for like the longest time. It did feel very cool to pull for him though. I will say though, like especially after the recent event, like his fleshing out of his character, I enjoy it. I like him now better than I did back then. So we're already starting off with I really like you. Wait, I should probably explain the tiers, huh? Yeah, can you tell I'm medicated while doing the stream? Anyways. So first tier is I love you, please get an event. This is obviously for the operators that I have heavily love. Just like no filter, just straight up bias. I love this character so much. I really like you is just for characters that I have good vibes on, have good opinions on, like nothing really bad to say. But there's just like that small little thing that's like stopping them from being on the first tier. All reliable is all reliable. I mainly just like use them because they're functional. They're functional for the thing they need to do. You Make Me Sad is for characters that are like I really want to like, but I can't because of like one reason or another. And then No Opinion is No Opinion. Yeah. There you go. Good stream. Now Flamebringer. Obviously. Flamebringer was the entire... So like, some people's entire reason for playing Arknights was Silver Ash. My entire reasoning for like staying with Arknights was Flamebringer. He was the first welfare operator I really played with when I first entered the game. So there's like this... I have a huge amount of bias for him. I have a huge amount of bias for Flamebringer, and I even got a little Flamebringer plush, as I've shown on my Tumblr, given by a friend. So yeah, I like Flamebringer a lot. I think he has a lot of potential in story and stuff like that. He's cool. There's not much about him, but he's cool. And he just has that like that veteran bias kind of advantage to him. I really do think now people see Flamebringer as a bit of I don't know if the word nostalgic is the correct word for it. But people now appreciate Flamebringer more than they did back then. He's definitely like an icon of like a certain era of Arknights back then that I think people appreciate now. So yeah. Flamebringer is good to me because of that. I love you, Flamebringer. Please get an event. I'm begging. Please, Hypergriff. Do something. Do something with Flamebringer. You have good thing. You have a good thing going on here. Also, cool name. Yeah, cool name. Cool name is also good points. Oh God. God, what if we get a Flamebringer Enfield operator? Oh, that'd be awful. that'd be equal parts. That'd be equal parts awful and equal parts. Please, cool. That'd be so cool. All right, Helliger. First controversial opinion, maybe. No opinion. That would be Wolfgod already. Yeah, probably. He does have that like edginess, doesn't he? But yeah, Helliger I kind of have no opinion on, mainly. I think he's a cool character, but also I don't really feel anything when I use his kit, and I also don't really feel anything about his story either. His module story of like the girl giving him the sword thing and then telling him to like survive or something is funny and also kind of like touching. But also like I don't really have an opinion on Helliger. He's kind of like he's kind of done, isn't he? I feel like his story arc is mostly pretty much done in the game anyways, so no opinion on Helliger for me. Sorry, Birdman. I apologize. Courier! Courier's another I love you. It's another bias thing. I started playing because of Courier, actually. There are like 3 operators during the start of my time playing Arknights that have like kept me playing the game and have made me want to play the game. There are 3 operators. Flamebringer is one of them, Courier is also one of them. The other one is going to be very obvious, but yeah, I just really like Courier. I think Courier kind of should get an event kind of centered around him. That's most definitely the bias speaking. But I think Courier is a very interesting character to look at. Never enough, Courier. Never enough! Never enough! I really like Courier so much that I genuinely thought that like the only way they could make another... I genuinely think that the only way they can do another Jerag event is by focusing on Courier. I think Courier should be the main character in the main POV in one of the events and get an altar. That's my opinion. I genuinely think he needs to get an altar. Is it copium? Maybe. Oh god, it's Courier. Yeah. I just genuinely like Courier. I think we need to watch Silver Ash do his shenanigans through the eyes of Courier. I think that would be very funny. I will admit he'd look badass in a suit. He would! He would! He should be in a drama CD. Also, people are just overly critical on his kit. He's very defensive. He's a really good defensive vanguard. That's his point. Like, that's his whole deal. I don't think it's bad for him to be a defensive vanguard at all. And before everyone is in SA's harem, DJ is there by good choice. What the outfit I put Ansel in? Oh, like a butler outfit, yeah. Courier and Matterhorn, they will look good in a butler outfit. Right next to Silver Ash too. Fuck him. That motherfucker doesn't deserve a courier in a butler outfit. He's been pretty much in every squad I've ever made. He's really not that bad of a kit. He's just very defensive, which a lot of people don't like because it's not doing big damage. So next one is Matterhorn. Matterhorn is all reliable. Actually, no. I really like my entire family doing. And then that paired with his kind of like gentleness he has in a lot of the cooking manga where he's making food for all the other operators and stuff. That's genuinely really nice. I genuinely really like Matterhorn. I think he's like a surprisingly really well-rounded character for the role he has. He has like surprisingly amount of like depth to his character for just like the amount of screen time he has, and I really like him for that. Also he's just a good arts defender as well. So yeah, I really like Matterhorn. Matterhorn is a good boy. Not really much else to say about Matterhorn, honestly, except for the fact that he's basically like I feel like, is Matterhorn older than Courier? I actually don't know. I feel like he is. He does look older than Courier. So he's like a bit more of an older, matured Courier a little bit. I like him. Good boy. Pat pat. No sis, we're getting the Jerak boys like straight out of the gate here. No sis. I like you. It's Do I like him more than I do Silver Ash? Gnosis and Silver Ash are pretty much equal to me in my eyes. They're like on equal standing to me. I like Gnosis' character a lot. I think he's he's like genuinely what a fucking little bitch boy. Gnosis and Silver Ash deserve each other in the way they're like both horrible. And like they should continue being horrible together. That's my entire thing. Also his freeze, really good. Also really handy in IS4. God, I love freeze so much. I love freeze as a status effect so much. It just like stops something from being bad, from hurting you. And it's really good. It's really fun. It's both good for like AoE and for like one-hit bosses, because if you can just make the thing stop, you can just make the boss stop. It's good. I like Gnosis' kit a lot. Dude, Gnosis is ruthless. Gnosis is fucking ruthless, I tell you. Gnosis and Silver Ash deserve each other. Yes, also older than Silver Ash, I see. Damn. I can't believe it. Yeah, Stuart too. Yeah, we're really getting the Jarek characters out of the way. I I like Stewart. I guess because it's like three stars. There's like you can only have so much of an opinion on the 3 stars, right? But I like Stewart. I think his personality is a little bit. It's not for me. It's not for me. But I do have like a little bit of a soft spot for Stewart, a little bit, because I used to have a friend who was really into Stewart, and Stewart is a good boy. I think him being kind of like the brain cell of his entire group is funny and also very good. I mean, Matterhorn is older than Silver Ash, not Gnosis. Ah, yeah. That makes, I guess Matterhorn's such like a big brotherly vibe to him. It's nice. Anakiel, I think I like Anakiel more than I like Stewart, just because of like his interaction with Arian. I think that scene between him and Arian, I just like it so much. That kind of like dynamic a little bit is good. I like seeing it. Ansel is all reliable as well. Good for IS. Good for integrated strategies. Tang! I really like you. Do I like you? Yeah. Wait, let me think. Yeah, sure. I really like Hung. There was a period in time when I was really not like hyper fixated, but fixated on Hung a little bit, because I really enjoyed his art and his character, and his kid as well is also really good. There was actually a period of time before that where I kind of didn't like his kit all too much. I didn't, because at the time I had Spot, and I didn't like that Hung needed to be hit in order to charge his skill. But then like Hung turns out to be fucking tanky anyway, so it didn't fucking matter that he needed to be hit in order to charge his skill. So like, whatever. I have fond memories of using Hung alongside Spot, because he and Spot were like the only healing defenders that Male Knights had at the time. But yeah, Hung good. You were hung on Hung, yeah. I was hung on Hung. Phantom. How do I feel about Phantom? Phantom. Low tier, all reliable. When I can use him, he's good. When I can use Phantom, he's good. But like at the same time, he does make me a little bit sad, because I don't know, the power creep on him is so bad, dude. I still think like his whole thing about having a clone is really cool. Having like another version of him is really cool. But man, the fact that like his clone takes up like a space, and also like he doesn't really do that much damage, makes me a bit sad. I really like Phantom, but I wish he's still reliable in a sense, but like very barely. I feel very sad. I want to use Phantom more, but I just never really have a reason to. Sag. He was pretty useful for the final boss in chapter 14 though, so I'm still keeping him up there. But is Hung? Definitely, dude, look at him. Anyways, Gray. You know what, I might as well just take him in his altar, grade him in his altar at the same time. Yeah. Another I really like you. I especially really like Grey Altar's just like kit. Hello, Male Nice content. Yes, I am currently ranking all of the male operators into a nice little tier list. We haven't been too long into it, so yeah. But hello, Ginger Mint Pepper. Hello. Just as a warning though, I've taken like a few pills that make me sleepy, so you're going to hear my highly medicated opinions. But yeah, even as like base Gray, I really liked Gray actually. Even in his base form, again, like a lot of people were very mean to his kit, just like how a lot of people are very mean to a lot of operators' kits. But I think I actually found it like useful. His slow, useful even in base form, and I think I actually tried using not Gray Alter, Gray as one of the strats for one of the first contingency contracts. I was using the caster strat instead of the more popular other strat. I forget. The one that involves Saria, I think. But yeah. I used Gray and he was pretty handy even in like his base form. And then his Gray Alter form happened and it was just better. I love using Grey Alter, even though he can't hit aerial enemies, which is a bit annoying. But I love using Grey Alter. I love him. I love his story. I love his I love him. I love his kit. I love his story. I think like genuinely, it's like the best example of like how an operator alter should be, in it that it's like showing the growth of a character and using like an old character to make like a new character, you know, and continuing that story. It's good. I love his story of like wanting to light up the world. It's genuinely really touching. I actually might genuinely like Grey Alter more than I like Silver Ash. He's just that cute. I've never actually used him. I love using Grey Alter, especially in IS. Recently, I've been using him in IS. I didn't think he would be viable in IS, but he's really good. I like using him, especially when you pair him up with that one collectible that makes flingers strong as fuck. Well, in Venu Veritas and all that. Also, Grey and Grey Alter are so good. God, Grey Alter is so reliable with his slows, his range, his progression. You're so real for the Grey. It's so real! Oh my god. I remember people were so mean to Grey Alter for no reason! I remember not just like his kit as well, because like obviously expected, like people are gonna be mean towards a kit that isn't like big damage, whatever. But I saw comments that were genuinely being like, why did Grey get an alter? Why did Grey get an alter? That's so worthless. Why did Grey get an alter? I'm like, operators get alters based on vibes, okay? If an alter continues the story of an operator, then it's not a worthless alter. Old man shakes fist at Cloud. Oh god, I hated that. Also, his Christmas skin is also just really cute. I like his Prince thing. The fact that both Grey and Grey Alter have a Christmas skin. Oh, well, Grey's base skin isn't actually like a Christmas skin, it was a Children's Day skin. But they both kind of have that same vibe. He's got the male debuff too, so I guess so. Yeah. Which event was Grey Alter was actually announced in? That might actually affect the way people were seeing Grey Alter. People being like, oh, why did Grey get an alter? Should have been fucking Ifrit, I guess. I don't know. People said the same things about Federico. People were really mean about every male alter except Thorns because everyone likes Thorns. Of course, Thorns gets that advantage. But yeah, people are just kind of mean towards the alters in general. Mountain! Mountain. I love you. Please get an event. Mountain, there's probably not much story that can be said about Mountain, but I still like Mountain. I still really like Mountain. I like his character. I like his I just like how reliable his kit is. Obviously fucking like obviously like fucking wow, Mountain is a good kit. Yeah, everyone knows this. But like it's actually really great just how you can put Mountain in a lane and then you just never have to worry about that lane ever again. Maybe put a defender, maybe add more like DPS right next to him. But aside from that, Mountain is just generally like okay by himself, which is great. I love that. I love not having to worry about like a lane just because Mountain is there. And also his appearances in the what is it? The animated shorts as well. So good. His module story is also very sweet. No, not module story. His little story thing. I forgot. Dorothy's vision. Yeah, they're like everyone was being like, "Oh, why did Greg get an altar? He should have done
$2."
What?
They said
What?
keep that male knights yapping.
What the fuck? Keep that male knights yapping. Oh my god. Cheap. No. I really need to change that goal. I don't. But I don't know what to. Oh my god, thank you, sheep. What the hell? Keep that male knights yapping, sure. Here, you take care of this. Yeah, he's just straight up just generally very reliable like that. And it's good. That's cool. I appreciate that. And his whole like deal of like being sent to a prison. Just because of like his backstory stuff. Definitely an unpopular opinion, but I'm not a Mountain fan at all. I totally understand why people like him though. His personality is so sweet though. It is fair, because there's like a sort of ambivalence you can have towards him. Yeah. That's in some ways he is just kind of there. And his gameplay is kind of boring because you just put him in a lane and he'll take care of it. Anyways, next one, Irene. I really like Irene. He's very in between all reliable and I really like you. Just like he's very in between all reliable and I really like you. I really think they should be more story focused on Irene because Irene is very interesting to me. I love that interaction between Irene and Outnakyo. Oh my god, that felt like it was like that just had like so much substance to it that I want to see more of Irene. I hope we can see more of Irene maybe in like a Laterano event. Maybe Irene Alter. Ooh. And his whole like thing about being a Lord guard that prioritizes on drones is also really nice. It's pretty handy, pretty nifty. So yeah, I don't have much of an opinion on Irene. I wish there was more. I wish there was more. Jay. I really like you. Yeah, I really like Jay. I like playing with Jay. I like using Jay. I like his whole thing about being the most normal guy ever, but just so happens to having connections with the most shadiest of people is the funniest thing ever, and I like that so much. I like Jay. Maybe because there was also a period of time where I really liked playing with Jay. Maybe it's not quite enough to say that I want him to get an event, because I can't really imagine what event he would get. I also, and I also just like can't really imagine an alter for him. I really can't, like, because like his whole character is just being like, yeah, it's the normal dude. He's the normal guy with like a bunch of connections, and that's it. I can see him being in other stories, being also like another supporting character, but I can't see him in as a event. Does Mountain's the furry quota since he checks everything they want. Oh my god, I remember all those tweets from furries that were like, I love Mountain. I'm gonna play Arknights because of Mountain. And then I saw people like kind of trying to like being kind of cringe and trying to quote unquote counteract it by showing suzerain or something and be like, furries, stay away. This is our game. It's like whatever. Cringe as fuck. But yeah. No, it's not because he's a furry. I wish there were more. I just don't like that his most popular use case is like not a brawler at all. I guess that is, to be fair, his most popular skill is skill 2, and I guess it makes him more of a defender. He is very much different than a lot of the other brawlers out there. From the top of my head, I played with some of them like very briefly. Mountain is definitely a lot more beefier. Because like the whole point of brawlers is that they have like high defense, but they also have like a little bit low defense as well. I get that. Some people feel the same for Alpianus. I'm pretty awesome. Oh yeah, sorry. Every man, where has your content been all along? You're a legit lore enjoyer too. This is so pog. And his fantastic cool slick pseudo cipher and his Ian voice is so pretty. I especially love, my favorite part of Irene is actually his skin. Oh my god, wait, let me try to get this out. I genuinely think his skin is one of the better Arknight skins out there. Ah! Ah! He's so good! He's so good! Oh wait, I need to stay quiet. People are trying to sleep. It's so good! Please open. Please open. Open! Oh my god, it's wiki.gg. Making me look like a fool. We'll let that load for a little bit. But yeah, Erin's like a really good operator. I just wish there was more of him. Also, speaking of that, Ginger, I don't know if you've seen my other content, but I do actually talk about like some other male operators. Mainly other male operators. The only videos I've made is Courier, Executor, and Flamebringer. But they're on my YouTube channel, so if you want to watch that, yeah. Don't need to, but yeah. Oh my god, look at that! That's so good! Oh, it's so good. I could honestly make like a whole YouTube short, just like talking about why I like this skin. Anyways, let's Executor. Speaking of it, man of the hour here. Obviously. I know we already have 2 events that feature Executor. However, I think there should be more. I think there should be more Executor. He is he is he is he's such a wonderful character. He is a I've made like Tumblr post after Tumblr post talking about Executor because he's genuinely like he's like genuinely such a really good character to me. I think every Laterano event from here on out should feature Executor in one way or another. He has such like a deep tie towards Laterano in general that I want to see more. I want to see more of Executor. Genuinely. I will never have it. She just said I won't have enough courier content. I'll never have enough Executor content. If there is ever an end story, like an end game that like concludes every single thing about Arknights and Terra in general, talking about like basically like the ending of Arknights, Executor should be there. I genuinely believe that. Definitely not biased. Also, the third operator that got me into the third operator that got me into playing Arknights. The three operators that got me into Arknights was Flamebringer, Courier, and Executor. Also, are you kidding me? I'll absolutely devour your content. Anything that centers male ops and Arknights is of great interest to me. I will definitely try to make more Arknights videos, especially talking about the male operators. Right now, I am working on a different video, which is talking about a Malaysian novel. Very niche. Sorry. I promise I'll be making more Arknights videos, though. Plus, his main antagonist is hot as fuck. True. Very true. Better going straight to the top of the list like God intended! I think every love anime should feature, and you're so correct, actually. So true! So real! Executor. my autistic king. My low empath king. Midnight. So Midnight. Midnight's a bit tough for me. Because I really want to like Midnight. The problem is that like his character feels a bit iffy to me. Because like his whole thing is that he's a host character thing, and like his personality is also quite fun for me. But also like his whole thing about being like this host character, and also like I need to reread his profile again, but I don't really jive with a lot of the anime characters that are like perverted like a little bit. Like I know Midnight isn't actually perverted, but he has like kind of like that flirty personality that it personally just kind of icks me out a bit. Maybe I need to reread like Midnight's whole thing, but yeah, it's not really my thing. And also like the way some people kind of make fun of like him getting oropathy via STDs just also kind of icks me out a little bit. It makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe if I saw more Midnight, I could change my mind, but I don't know. I was never really into like the flirty characters in anime anyways. My god, I hated Brock in Pokemon. Okay. Okay, but his thing pleasure is within arm's reach when I'm by your side is smooth as fuck. It's definitely like a balance. I'm very picky with those type of characters. Those kind of like suave, smooth characters. Because I also really like Oran High School Host Club, and the main guy is kind of like that as well, and I like him. But I don't know. I'm very on the fence with Midnight a little bit. His kit is a very his kit is very reliable though. You're very useful in either SSS or integrated strategies, so not quite fallen into You Make Me Sad, but he's very close. I I think my main problem with Midnight is honestly the way fandom kind of treats him. Like, I don't like the way people joke about him getting oropathy via STD. It's like it's very. Sorry for jumping around in chat here for a second. Midnight's basically a civilian host club employee that got into a heavy scrap fight with another host club dude and got infected. Oh, okay, so it wasn't. So they're not like trying. They didn't like try to make a joke, being like, oh, he's a host. He's a host club, and he got oropathy. You know. No, he did. They say it explicitly that it was a scrap fight. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Midnight is most interesting in the context of his squad to BH. He's very flirty, sure, but he's also really compassionate and a hard worker. I like his dynamic with Orchid a lot. That is true. I do like Midnight when he's interacting with Orchid. Y'all are saving Midnight. y'all are slowly saving Midnight from. I get less ick vibe and more honest vibe. Like I think he actually enjoys what he does. I do think that yeah, he does kind of have like a little bit of that genuinity that I think he should have. But yeah. Also, sorry that I scroll up here a little bit. I think his story is also really wonderful from the perspective of neurodivergent carers. Federico's compassion and drive to understand what makes him human among angels, and I think it's so great. He is so good. Yeah, he's so good. These people didn't read his records that well. Yeah. Nah, Midnight just has terrible PR, trust. His skin is quite nice though. Midnight holds you over until you pull Lapland, so true. Okay, Spot. And I may be basic bitch, but he's very reliable. He is very reliable in SSS and in like IS especially. I actually don't play Reclamation Algorithm as much as I probably should, but he's pretty. From like the little bit I've played, he's also like pretty reliable there too. Midnight is a himbo. Okay, my next pick. This is probably gonna be a little bit surprising for some of y'all, because I almost never talk about him, but I love Spot a lot. When I first started playing Male Knights, Spot was such a good operator to have. Oh my god, his heals always came in clutch when I was playing Male Knights. And I like his personality as well, like his little rougher personality, but also like secretly being like a part of royalty, but not giving a shit about that. I genuinely love that about him. I think I really, really love Spot, and I think he should get an event centered around him. He's a good operator to me. And I really, really like playing him. I don't know how surprising of a pick this is, because I almost never really talk about Spot, and I almost like never really like... I don't really see people like talking about Spot all too much. Even like in the context of his squad, people usually... Oh, excuse me. In the context of his squad, people usually talk about Midnight or Orchid or... Fuck, what's her name? What's her name? Popukar. I remember. He's also an anime nerd, so blessed. Yeah, I like him. Wow, hello Skyoshi, welcome to the stream. I hope you're okay with Arknights yapping. I know you don't play Arknights, but I hope you're okay with it. The vibe difference between Spot and all the other members of his squad is the peak of comedy. Actually, super reliable, especially since Male Arknights for so long, but not healing operators for so long. Yeah. This is going to be like such like a headcanon thing, but because like Spot was like my main healer for a really really long time, I I like to imagine Spot meeting Lumen because Lumen makes healing so much more easier now. Oh my god, Lumen makes healing so much more easier now, and I kind of want to imagine Lumen and Spot interacting. One of my first main healers meets like the healer that helps with everything now. Based as fuck tech, you're absolutely correct. Thank you so much. He should get an event. A Sargon event centering around Spot and him getting an altar. That would be hype as fuck. That'd be hype. Yeah. Okay. This is... I might as well just get this out of the way here first. No opinion. No opinion. No opinion. Actually... I guess like up here. I don't really play with the robots all too much. I don't really play with the robots all too much, unfortunately. I know they can be handy. They can be pretty handy. And Thermex especially, like, I think he would be useful to bring on IS, I guess. But I've never really felt all too drawn towards the robots too much. Sorry. I'm not into. I have no feelings for Roombas. I apologize. And like Thermex is up here simply because I think his personality is a little bit more enjoyable than the other two. I do ship Castle with the other robot. I think that's very cute. I also forget that Castle. This is like Castle's base skin. I've always had Castle's like is it called a summer skin? I guess so. I guess it's called a summer skin. Just because I like his skin so much better. I forget like his base skin looks this dark. Yeah. Unfortunate. No offense to anyone that likes the robots. Not a particularly that hungry for them. Alright. Thorns! Thorns is... actually... Actually, yeah. Yeah, sure. I really like Thorns. I only use the robots because I like Kiev so much. Phasing lines are funny too. Yeah, I guess like Kiev's skill makes them like a little bit more nicer to play with. I actually have no opinion on Thorn's altar yet. It's not just because like he's not released yet. I have my own reasonings for it. Actually, wait, let me think again. Yeah, I really like Thorns. I love his character. I love his character. I love his interactions with people. You know, all the basic stuff. His like whole thing about being in integrated, of his integrated strategy ending. It's not an ending, is it? It's just like a record. But his integrated strategy thing, where he fights the Seaborn till his very last breath, is genuinely really touching, and I like him for that. I've seen the translations, but for some reason I still don't have like an opinion on him yet. Because I'm still interested in seeing how they can pull off his character within the actual event in and of itself. And also like for his kit in general, He's meant to be an alchemist, right? Really on the fence on him. A little bit. I feel like he could be reliable, but I don't know if I'd want to play with him yet, because obviously I don't know how his kit would feel. For now, no opinion, but it is like on the positive side. I do think Thorns is a good character, and I think he will be a good character in his event. It's just that like it's just one of those things where like I'm kind of nervous on how they'll pull you off because I like you so much, you know. A little bit on the fence about it. Let me think. Actually, see, now I'm second guessing myself. I might regret this, but I'm gonna put him there, actually. I'm gonna put Thorn's Altar there. Low, I really like you, but from the translations I have seen, and I don't want to spoil to anyone in chat, because, you know, some people don't want to be spoiled that his story could be very good, and I'm actually quite excited for his event. I can't wait to see more of him in his event. God, I love you, Thorns. Okay, you like Thorns more than Silver Ash base. Thorns has always been one of my favorites, but like Jay, there's just so many things to say about him that I can't abbreviate. Yeah, Thorns is just like one of those characters where you can really say a lot about him. Yeah. He's also just like his skill is also just like generally really reliable. Airscape. Where do I put you? Airscape. Where do I put you? There. I like Airscapes. I think it's fair to not rank Thornstar until he's out, DBH. You never used him, so how would you know if you haven't tried it? Like, a lot of my ranking is really based on story, and I have seen some of the story in translated stuff as well. And from what I have seen from the translations for Thornstar's story, I really like what I'm seeing. I'm really liking what I'm reading from the translations of his story. You can thank Sheep for that. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, I have no opinion on Thornstar. In terms of story, though, I'm gonna play the fuck out of that event. I like Airscape. I love the way Arknights tends to subvert a lot of these characters, because like Airscape definitely looks like a more like serious, cold character, but then you get to know Airscape and he's really silly. he's a motherfucker that likes being zapped. Are you kidding me? It's like he's a motherfucker. He looks like he's supposed to be more serious than Leonhardt, but he's also just really fucking silly. Airscape kind of has that a little bit of that vibe. Say almost like the same personality as Thorns, as like you look at him and you think they're serious, but he's actually really silly. Autumn likes Tuha coded stories. Ginger, Tuha is referring to my favorite character in another Malaysian novel, just so you know. Blessing for real, for real. Escape blessing for real, for real. Alright, so far no one's making me sad just yet. Nobody's making me sad just yet, so but we'll see. We'll see. He likes frozen edamame, and that's stupidly funny when you tried edamame before. Also, he likes being electrocuted, so yeah. Silly little guy. Lee. 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 Okay. Probably another controversial opinion. Another controversial opinion here. I don't care for Lee. Which is insane! Which is insane! I feel like I should like Lee more. That makes me so upset because I feel like I should like Lee more. He has everything that makes me want to like him, but I can't. For some reason, it's just like it's not clicking. It's just sometimes there are those characters where things just don't click. His kid is fun. I love merchants. I really, really love merchants. I love the merchant class in Arknights. It's one of my favorite classes ever. Lee has a nice kit, but I think that gets me about Lee is how kind of straightforward his kit is. Because in my mind, the merchant class is meant to be like a class that you go silly with it. It's like, it feels like the class where they can kind of be as the most like flexible and the most like insane with it, you know? Like Mr. Nothing's like whole fucking RNG thing. Jay's like self-healing, and then Figurino is also coming out soon. But and like Swire Alters, oh my god, I love Swire Alters kit so much. But I don't know, I feel like I should like Lee. I really should like Lee. He has everything that makes me like a character. And I'm sorry to all the Lee fans. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Lee fans, but I just like Mr. Nothing better. And whatever Lee does, all I can think of is Mr. Nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think his like little his like animated short stuff with the other the agency peeps is really cute. I love them. But I can't I can't feel anything for Lee. I just is not built. I'm sorry. That's fine. It's either Lee or Mr. Nothing. You can only pick one Lungmen Yan affiliated man. I like his Nor detective thing. Yeah, it's like his detective thing is nice. I'm sorry, Lee fans. He has some dedicated fans out there, and I'll respect that. Yeah, he especially has some dedicated Yume ships out there. I respect that. Bison. Bison is... Bison is I really like you. Yeah, somewhere around here. I really like Bison's character, especially like in the Adele event where he becomes like a bit more confident and is more, and you see more of his like business savvy side from his father. That's really good. I really like him. I really like Bison a lot. I think I really fell in love with his character when he was first introduced in the event, you know, within the Penguin Logistics event. I think he's a pretty cool character. I like his like progression of personality from that event to now. He's a good one. I like that one. I think it's a Bison was also like another character that I fixated on quite a bit. And I'm really happy he definitely made another appearance in the Adelvent. Very cool. I like Bison. His kit is also pretty interesting. That's definitely a take. I totally understand not liking Lee's kit though. It's much less involved than most other merchant kits. I'm definitely a Lee enjoy it though. I'm sorry! I'm sorry! The reasons why I'm not a big fan of Lee is probably like the same reason you're not a big fan of Mountain. So, you know, trade off. Trade off. Also, I put these 3 together just because I can. ABC. All reliable. Might as well talk about them as a collective just because you can. All reliable. All reliable. And I really like you. I hope Bison gets an alter so bad. So long Adele has shown just how much he's grown up since we first saw him in Coda Brawl, and I think he would be a wonderful 6-star defender if AK. Yes, please! 1 6-star defender! If we had any 6-star defender candidate, it would be Bison. So like for Aosta, Kiave, and Broca, I definitely really like Broca. He's my favorite out of the trio, and I love his kit the most. I really like his like arts thing. People were really mean towards him. People were kind of critical towards him because he stuns himself just like Spectre does, but I guess people don't like his damage too much. But I like it. He does like hella arts damage. Like a lot of arts damage. He's a really good like burst arts like damage guard. And I like him. I really love using him. He's really good to play with. I enjoy him a lot. I'm also just like more into his. I like how when he first joins Rhodes Island, he's not like too big on the idea at first. He's actually like quite hesitant to be fully on board into Rhodes Island because of his like backstory of you know mafia stuff. I think that's like a really good kind of character to explore within the worlds of Arknights, because obviously there are going to be people that are hesitant and don't really believe in the ideals of Rhodes Island as much as all the other operators. But then Broca learns why so many people believe in Rhodes Island, and I think that's a really good story to have for him. He's a really interesting character to me, and he's my favorite out of the trio because of it. That he starts off like really skeptical about it. I like him. I like Broca a lot. Kiave is just like a fun vanguard to use, especially in IS. Because there's like IS4, he's just really good to use, especially when you get like the Vanguard collectibles. Oh my god, holy shit. When you get the Vanguard collectible that's like minus DP, increased attack after skill starts, oh my god, Kiave becomes a nuclear bomb! He genuinely becomes like a nuclear bomb at that point. It's so good. He's so good. And he also is like bind is also like really good as well. Actually, shit. I probably should play Aosta way more than I do now, because I remember there's also like that collectible that makes bind cause 1,000 attack, I think, for each second. Oh, he'd actually be pretty broken for that. Mixed with that collectible. Oh shit. Yeah, these 3 are just like pretty fun to play as kits, and I enjoy that very much. But Broca gets like a little bit higher because I enjoy his personality and story just like a little bit more. Because yeah, I just really like that story where he is a little bit skeptical. Though the other 2 also have like really good personalities as well. I enjoy that. I just have a bit of a bias for Broca. ABC trio must be discussed as collective because they're attached at the hip. Broca feels much better to me than Spectre again, especially since early Male Arknights arts damage was very rare. Yeah, true. Damage in general was just really rare. I think there was a lot of defense at the beginning, but not much damage. The interplay between how they all balance each other out, plus how they support each other from a gameplay perspective and story perspective is so endearing. They're so wonderful, underrated. Yeah, they're a wonderful trio, and I am so happy that they get the appropriate amount of love from like animated shorts and stuff. I want to see more of this trio actually. I think they make an amazing like cast of characters. Ethan. Oh, reliable. Wait. A little bit, yeah, hi. I like Ethan. Ethan's bind is good. I enjoy using him. His whole thing about being a reunion member that comes to Rhodes Island is also compelling and good. I like it. I wish they did more of him, used him a bit more in stories, because from what I can tell, they use him a bit as like a comedic kind of character to me. And I wish they would explore Ethan's whole thing about being a reunion member joining Rhodes Island in a much more genuine sense, rather than like sometimes the comedic angle they go with him, because he's a very funny character. But I also think there's like some genuinity that could be explored there, and I want to see more of. I feel like he should be in like even more events, honestly. I want to see more of Ethan. I think Ethan could be good. Also, what? Silly idea, Flamebringer ends up being a duelist defender. Funny world we would be in. That'd be cool. Oh my god, Leonhardt! Ooh, okay. Yeah, right next to Air Escape. I love Leonhardt. I love his personality. I love how how playful he is. He has the best Christmas skin, by the way. That's my take. He has the best Christmas skin. I love his kit. Holy shit. Oh my god. The fact that his skill is literally an entire area of simultaneous arts damage. Ah, good. Holy shit. Fucking broken as shit. It's good. It's really good. I feel like Ethan is my hot take OP lol. I find that I don't really care much about him at all, even though I really like ambushers. I don't really like playing with him. Definitely hella reliable though. If you need binds, he's reliable. I remember in the first contingency contract, people needed binds. Ethan was good for that. But yeah, it's also just kind of hard to care about Ethan much because they don't really use him much in stories. But yeah, I love Leonhardt. I love Leonhardt so much. I love his like playful kind of like personality, but he's also like really reliable as a person because he is a messenger, catastrophe messenger, I think, that like reads catastrophe readings and reports back. And that makes him, and that like really, you can really see it in a lot of his like voice lines and stuff. I really like Leonhardt. These two make a good cast. I love these two so much. Sessa. The first kind of negative guy. I'm sorry, Sessa. I love his story. I like his whole thing about being part of the meta, if not meta, being part of like the black market. His whole thing about like figuring out how to do weapons without the use of originium is so it like connects to like passengers like whole thing, right? But but like when I play him, oh my god, I really, really want to like Sessa. I think it's because I really like his like personality and story so much that his kid hurted me so bad. Because it's not just the fact that his thing only ignites at like a certain point, only after it comes in. But it's also just that the damage is just not very good. The like reduce attack debuff could be really useful in some like situations, but the burst damage is just not good, especially paired up with his very delayed skill attack. Oh my god, I'm so sad. I feel so sad playing Sessa. I want to play him more. I think he could be a really good operator. But my brain is square. I will say though, if there is an enemy, if there's like a group, sometimes like in Arknights maps, there's a lot of like those types of maps where there's a group of big buff enemies that hit hard and also have like a long range. Sessa can reach them and they're good. Sessa is good in that kind of situation. I remember one of the contingency contracts had the fucking egg dudes in like a corner of the map, and I had Sessa get rid of them pretty quick, pretty like reliably. And I liked using him for that. But man, yeah. Aside from that, it's really hard for me to use Sessa. I'm sorry, Sessa. I want to like you more. I do. I really do. Leonhardt caught so many strays for so long just for being a Splashcaster when Leonhardt arguably was the only Splashcaster for so long that proved that the class would be effective. Yeah, exactly. He's super good. He's a super good Splashcaster. Leonhardt's thing about seeming frivolous and careless when he's actually hyper-confident and meticulous is super endearing. Yeah, I like that. Speaking of frivolous and careless but seeming hyper-competent and meticulous, Elysium. I really like Elysium. Do I like him as much as... I'm sorry. No, Sessa, that's my sparkly doinky, my baby boy. My only note about Sessa since I won't shoot is that his personality plus dynamic Elliot, the most compelling pair dynamic in AK to me. Yeah, I love his dynamic with Passenger. The problem with me is because I like his dynamic so much that I want to play him, but his kit fucking someone was like we're gonna make sure his kit sucks. No, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah. I really want to play Sessa more. His kit fucking but his fucking kit. Leonard is really good. I don't need to E2 him to make him decent. Yeah, he's a very good caster. Very good splash caster. Probably not inaccurate to say that he's the best splash caster out of all the splash casters. At least he's like contending to that really good, hard. Where were we? Elysium. Yeah, sorry. Elysium. Every single like Elysium appearance in an event is always a treat. This fucking this fucking boy band motherfucker thinks he's the most handsome person in the world, motherfucker. Silliest little man that gets in the situations ever, motherfucker. But then he's also really, really good at his job. And that's the funniest thing in the fucking world to me. This motherfucker. And again, like the way he embodies like Iberia's ideals alongside Thorns is good. I like that as well. This motherfucker. This motherfucker who literally asked Lumen like, oh, What was it that he asked Lumen? He was like, he asked Lumen if he was handsome or something, or asked like Lumen, aren't I so handsome or something, or implied he was handsome to Lumen. This motherfucker. This motherfucker. Yeah, I like him. I want to see more of him. I genuinely want to see an alter of him. My literal only note about Elysium is when will AK drop his alter, because come on, he has so much content, so much character, so much prominence, is intelligent, understanding, extremely competent. A little note about Elysium is that I remember some people were theorizing that Elysium is blind. I really like that headcanon, so I'm gonna keep it. I think I think Elysium is blind. Maybe not like completely blind, but like, you know, it's like that type. There's like some form of blindness to him. I don't know. I like that. I like that headcanon a lot. And then him being like a good navigator is also funny. Shalom. 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 Let me think. I have to think about this one. Reliable, yeah. I think he's right next to Phantom and that kind of reliability. I feel like I can use him. Light blindness maybe not so good in bright places. Yeah. I am dying to see him in his capacity as Mantra's second so bad because it's funny that he gets pretty serious and he's acting on her behalf. Plus their dynamic from secondhand sounds hilarious. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm pretty sure Mantra will become playable. Source, I made it up, but within my dreams, I saw her being playable. I don't think Shalom is as unusable as a lot of people think he is. He's quite fun to use. I like him. His whole mechanic of where he can like actually attack aerial enemies is also really nice. I like Shalom a lot. I really don't have much of an opinion on his lore though, to be honest. I know he's from IS-2? Yeah, IS-2. I haven't actually finished a lot of IS-2, so I haven't really read a lot of Shalom stuff. I know he's very silly though. I know he's like also another genre of guy that is trying to be as normal as possible, but he's hearing the fucking voices of the depths reaching out to him constantly. I think it's implied that he can kind of see the future a little bit as well, and I find that really interesting. I hope he gets covered a bit more, because I really like Shalom, like story-wise, from the little tiny bits I've heard. I think this is like going to be like another operator that I think would work for other events as well. I like Shalom. He's intriguing. He's interesting to me. And his like attack is reliable. Who says Shalom is unusable? He just flat out never used Shalom. He's the guy ever though. The perfect example of a man running away from fate only for fate to grab him by his balls anyway. Yeah. Trying to come off as like as normal as possible. Meanwhile, there's like a figure right behind him, and the figure is his fate. Okay. Okay, next one. Next one. I'm pretty excited to talk about this one. Because it's an angel person. Enforcer. I genuinely think Enforcer is gonna get an event. I can see him getting an event. Will he get an altar? I don't think so. I think he's still pretty early for him to be getting an altar. But I do think he should get an event focusing on him and Cecilia. I think I need to see an event where all his ideals and his like beliefs is being tested and tested and tested. I want to see this man break. I want to see this motherfucker be questioning everything. I want to see him get tested. I want to see him in an event. I want to see him like interacting with like his ideals being challenged. I want to see more of Enforcer. I love Enforcer. I think Enforcer is a good kind of like a bit of a start-off point to question Laterano's whole like thing, right? Because like Executor, Enforcer, and also like Cecilia are meant to kind of like shine a light at Laterano and being like, are we sure that this is a good thing? Like, are we sure? There might be some flaws about this idea, you know? And I want to see more of that true Enforcer. I want to see, especially since Enforcer is going to be interacting with way more sarcasm in the hypothetical event. I think that'd be good. And I think Enforcer should be with Flamebringer. Just because. I know like Enforcer is going to Castel via Mudrock, so it wouldn't make sense for Flamebringer to be there. But I think it would be really funny if somehow Flamebringer got involved to like follow Enforcer anyways. Just because. I just want to see Enforcer and Flamebringer interact with each other more. I think Enforcer should definitely get an event centering around him. He's honestly hope he has his Anduin moment. True. So real. I want to see him break. Part of why I think Anduin coming back would be so good is because of the plot between Izel and Cecilia. Yeah. Like I would actually like it if Anduin made another appearance in the hypothetical Izel event. Please give her and give him and Cecilia a happy ending. That's all I want. That's all I want. Chestnut. This might be a bit of a sleeper pick. Some people might be surprised by this. I really like Chestnut. I really love Chestnut. I like that Chestnut's whole thing is that he wants to go into the surface, and that's considered a weird thing between the Durin. I think I could see an event centering around Chestnut. With his like little story of wanting to go into the surface. I like that. I don't know if it's very barely up on this tier, very barely, but I will put it up there anyways, just because. I like Chestnut. Also not as bad as a kid as a lot of people think he is. Some people are really mean about Chestnut. I saw people being like, Chestnut is the worst. Chestnut's the worst medic. He's the worst kid. He has the worst skin. He's the worst. I saw some like really bad Chestnut haters, and I'm very surprised because Chestnut is like so normal to me. I remember I played around with Chestnut once, and I was like, yeah, he's a good medic. I like using him. In the context of integrated strategies, though, I do prefer bringing Herald, just because you know, integrated strategies, you do kind of like need to be smarter with your medics. And Herald does like ultimately heal faster, but Chestnut gives good burst healing. He's good. He's not as bad as people think he is. I also hope Ezel has a run-in with Aulus at some point, TBH. I feel like his messed up philosophy would really shake his ideals, and he genuinely needs that to figure out where he stands with Laterano. Yeah. Actually, yeah. I agree. You are a right. You are a true. Chestnut, can you pull out little guys that just want to explore past their little world and broaden their horizons? Yeah, I think there could be like a where an event where Chestnut can be like the main character. Speaking of main character, this might be a basic bitch fucking answer because everyone loves Lumen, okay? Lots of motherfuckers out there love Lumen, but there's a good fucking reason for it, okay? He's literally the guy of the world. He is just the guy facing the world right now. He's like in events and stories where he is facing literal like world-ending events, and like his arc is about finding who he is beyond in all of that, how he can be helpful when he is just this one guy and he wants to be helpful. It's genuinely a really good story. I love that about Arknights. The trio of Male Arknights really is. Man, you're not as bad as I thought you'd be. Yeah, true. I love Lumen so much because it's such like an emblematic of the philosophy of Arknights' writing, right? Like, Arknights will cover stories and events where the world is ending, where the world is like in shambles. It is like it's going to shit. Everything is going to shit right now. And yet we still get focuses of like these personal stories of self-discovery and interpersonal relationships. Oh my god. Oh my god, that the Path of Life event, it kind of covered that a little bit, where we're talking about the Seaborn, which is obviously like a huge world-ending threat, but there's also like the emphasis of the people within that world, of Geordie's like self-discovery, and also like not Male Knights include related, but oh my god, that one seaweed researcher girl that got turned into a Seaborn in that event, and there's like that scene between that Seaborn and Irene and Secunda, and the researcher girl is just realizing that she got turned into a Seaborn, and Secunda and Irene having to like kill her as like a mercy for her. Genuinely teared me up. Because Arknights is so good at talking about these world-ending events, but focusing on the people in it. You know, why these people are important. And Geordie is just like Lumen is just like a hugely emblematic of that. The world is ending because of the Seaborn, and yet that's not stopping us from caring about Lumen. Okay? Because like obviously, like if you were in that situation where the world is going so badly, but you still want to like find out who you are, be through it all, because that's still important. You still need to know who you are in order to be able to help it within all of this. It's genuinely so good. I love Lumen so much. I love Lumen so fucking much. It took me a very long time to appreciate AK's writing, TBH. Geordie was one of the stories that really made me understand that AK's writing is about the people in the midst of disaster. Yeah, basically, yeah. Lumen's story is treated with just as much importance as, like, fucking Isharmla fucking possessing Scotty, okay? And I love him. Yeah. Because especially in the midst of disaster and despair, that's when we have to remember that people are people. They still need to laugh, to cry, to know themselves and their world. Just fantastic. It is genuinely fantastic. And I like, especially, okay, I'm gonna need to stop talking about Lumen eventually, but I really, really love how his, like, status, his, like, ancestry status with Briogan, the main guy that left, A gear to go onto the surface to, you know, stop people from dying. It's kind of like left ambiguous whether or not he is actually related to Bryogan or not. Is like is something that is explored but is also considered unimportant because Lumen is just Lumen, and that's all he needs to be. He doesn't need to be anything grander. He just has to be Lumen. And it's also like, okay, I really need to stop talking about Lumen, but I also really like how Lumen also kind of covers that diaspora kind of experience, especially in the recent event, where he's like, he's incorrect. You should talk about Lumen more. Because like he doesn't know what life in A gear is like. When he first gets into like A gear, he's kind of like unused to it. He's very uncomfortable. He's not used to the gravity. He's not used to the water stuff and all. But then also he's a bit of an outsider in the place that is supposedly his home. But then like in Iberia, he's also considered an outsider because of the history between Iberia and Aegir. So there's like that too. He basically feels like he doesn't really belong anywhere just from his blood and from his like who he was born as. And I think that's really like a good setup to show that Lumen really needs to find out who he is beyond how he was born, beyond like his blood and what people expect him to be. Lumen needs to be Lumen. He needs, not because he's Aegir, not because he's the ancestor of Bryogan, but because he is Lumen. A fish out of water but reverse. Yes, exactly. It's so good. Anyways. Talk too much about Lumen. God. Man, you make me tear up, man. I think even if Lumen isn't tied to Bryogan by blood, he does carry his spirit. I mean, again, I can yap about the Iberian boy band forever, but I get you. I am perceiving what you're putting down. Yeah! It's so good. Fuck me. Me when the character is the embodiment of hope and the undying spirit. No! That's honestly like a lot of these characters. Arknights' writing is all about just like being hopeful. A lot of characters here are very hopeful and are literally trying their fucking best to do as good as they can within the situation that they're in. Anyways, Winflet. I really like Winflet. Okay. Yeah, I have no explanation for this one, gang. Ah! Me to like the other 5 other Winflet fans. I like Winflet. I think his whole thing about just being like, my god, Winflet is just genuinely just like a civilian. He's literally the most normal person ever. He doesn't even have like a kind of like gimmick the same way Jay is, where it's like, oh, he's a normal guy, but he has all these connections with But Winflet is just literally just normal. He went to like college. He went to have an education, and now he's here. And now he's here in Rhodes Island. And he's like, I like how, I don't know, I don't know why I like Winflet so much. Story-wise, he's so normal. But I think it's because how normal he is that I really enjoy him. He's his whole thing about like herding when you put him in a squad, right? His whole thing where he's like kind of herding them around because he's a herding dog, and he is implied that he's like herding the other squad members around for the sake of their own safety. I love that so much. I really like that about Lumen. Hold on. Sorry. I don't know why I like Lumen, I just do. There's me, I would yes so much more about Lumen if I didn't only have 200 characters to work with in YouTube chat. Oh, yeah. But yeah. I don't know why. Sorry, did I say Lumen? I said Winflint. Winflint is a college graduate who joined Rose Island and didn't realize that the smacking people with your wrench was not an exaggeration and it's literally part of his job description. Yeah. And I don't know why I like that so much. I think it's because like it's also like another look into what a normal person in the world of Terra is. So Winflint kind of represents that a little bit. I will say I much prefer his S1 this kit more than the S2. But his whole thing about like boosting casters is still pretty useful. He does his job. He does the thing he's meant to do. People are very mean towards his kit. People are just generally mean towards like any operators whose kit is about buffing and debuffing. But yeah, I like Winflint. Good boy. Excuse me. Mizuki. Where do I rank you, Mizuki? Where do I rank you, Mizuki? I'm beginning to understand that your taste in AK man is this is literally just a guy and I'm in love with him. Yeah, basically. I really like Mizuki. I used to not really be a big fan of Mizuki, but then I read some of his comics in his anthology stuff. And that one comic that featured him and Kirara and Ifrit and who was the other gamer guy? I think it was Sessa? I can't remember. But Mizuki is like with Ifrit and Kirara and they're playing a game together and he feels like a little bit lonely. But then is reminded about like the people around him. I like him. I really like Mizuki. He really shines in integrated strategies as well. His genuine like hope, like genuine kind of like wanting the best for people, even though he can get really extreme with it. You know, talking about like getting rid of the bad guys in the world. I think that makes him like a very genuine character to me. I like him a lot. I really like Mizuki a lot. I don't know if Mizuki should get an event though, because basically the entire integrated strategies was an event. So it's like, yeah. Aosta or Sessa. It was either those two, because I know Aosta has the gaming skin, but also, from what I remember, the guy in the personality was Sessa's? I can't remember. But yeah, I like Mizuki a lot. He's like his role genuinely wanting the best for people despite, you know, what he is good. I like it. I like Mizuki a lot. He's so great. I think he's the epitome of a man who wants to live a normal life despite his circumstances. Soft snooze, more cares I could yap about infinitely. Yeah. And also him technically being a very sentient seaborn hybrid. Yeah. Kind of fucked up in that way, but yeah. But yeah, he's a genuinely solid character with a lot of story behind him and a lot of things you could say about him. I like him. Ah! Speaking of a man who wants to live a normal life despite his circumstances, Also, I have to leave now, but I really enjoyed this. Really looking forward to watching more of your content now that I found you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming in chat. I will be turning this entire tier list into a video, like an edited video. So you can watch that later if you want to. If you want to hear all of my opinions on all of the guys ever. But yeah, thanks for coming by and chat. You were really fun to talk to, Ginger. Hope to see you again. Anyways, Mr. Nothing. So so about Mr. Nothing. I am in love with Mr. Nothing so much. I think he should get an event. This is my proposal. I think Mr. Nothing should get an event because his whole thing about you know, literally being hunted down and also killing I'm literally being hunted down and also like killing his getting his previous master killed, and his his entire thing about being a whole fucking Chinese literature reference. That is such a perfect setup for a Chinese martial arts movie spoof of an event featuring Mr. Nothing. I think that is like genuinely perfect. Especially if we're going to like have the Cruz cast with them, like Cruz and Lava and all of that. Because if we're going to have an event about Mr. Nothing, it's going to be about facing the past, because that's inevitably what the theme is going to be. And Cruz and Lava all need to face like their pasts and their futures and stuff like that. And it'd be a perfect expansion of what Who is Real like kind of explored as the theme in their stories. I think Mr. Nothing is a cool character. I love his whole thing about being like a silly little guy, but he's actually really capable and cool, but he's also genuinely fucking pathetic. I love him. I love Mr. Nothing. I think he'd be a perfect. I think it would genuinely be perfect for him to have an event. Oh my god. Genuinely. Oh, that'd be so good. Please, Hypergriff, hear my cries. Yeah, that's my pitch. Yeah. I think Mr. Nothing is such like a genuinely like cool character. And his dynamic with Cruz is also really sweet as well. Very funny. Fucking Australian woman having to wrangle his ass. But yeah, that's my propaganda pitch for Mr. Nothing. I'm going to rank the R6S guys very quickly here. I really like you. I really like you. Very reliable. Doc is actually very reliable. Fuse is... He's down there. I don't know how much of an opinion I can give about the Rainbow Six Siege characters a lot. I really love the first Rainbow Six Siege event though. Genuinely, it's one of my favorite events ever. It's such like a good introductory event story to talk about like Arknights themes towards like new players that come from Rainbow Six Siege. The second Rainbow Six Siege I didn't like as much, to be honest, even though I really like techno. But yeah, everything that I really like about these guys come from their lore from Rainbow Six Siege anyways. Doc and Fuse don't really have much of a personality, unfortunately, in the second event. Fuse just feels like another Tachanka a little bit, in my opinion. Mr. Nothing's fantastic. I think a lot of what I love about him comes from the way that he can't escape the guilt or memories. He wants to be normal, but he can't do it because his past plagues him. Yes! Also, his design is top fucking notch. My god, what a quality man. Yeah! Okay, bye. Bye, Ginger. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. But yeah. Anyways, I like the first Rainbow Six Siege event more than I liked the second one. At least this first one, they kind of had a bit more personality. I like Blitz's whole thing about being a multilingual though. That's nice. And Doc's whole thing about like wanting to help others. Fuse is like being like a bit of a what is it? A bit more of a mentor figure is also good. Passenger. Wait, no. Elliot is coming up and he's my favorite operator, period. This is awful. I gotta hear your takes on him too. This is men purgatory. Yeah. Okay. Passenger. Where do I rank Passenger? My god. He's up here. He's up here. He's almost at this tier. I just don't know what kind of event he could get. I guess there could be like another event that's kind of focusing on him a little bit more. A passenger altar? I don't know how I feel about that. It would be really funny though if he got an altar. Stop having complex and interesting opinions so I can go do my chores actually. Oh my god. Passenger is so fucked up. I love Passenger so much. The fact that he's probably one of like the most violent out of all the male operators here, to be honest. He's probably more ruthless than Silver Ash and Gnosis combined because he actually fucking went through with his revenge. But yeah, I really like Passenger, and his kit it's good. I still thought it was good even when it was first released. A lot of people didn't like it, and obviously people fucking memed on it. But I liked it. I just generally like the chain caster class anyways. I think people overhate it a lot. It's good. it's okay. I like it. But Passenger is also just like another really complex character that I think I could probably make like a whole half an hour video talking about Passenger. Passenger Alter is just him fully realizing his dream of being able to throw focus nukes at his oppositions. Yeah. But yeah. Passenger, oh my god. What? He's like one of those characters where there's just so much going on about him that I can't give an opinion that will reasonably keep this live stream in a reasonable length. He's just a lot. And I think like he also has the best skin. I will say that. He has the best Life 2D alter skin. My god, how do I talk about Passenger? It's really hard to talk about Passenger. He's just that character, you know? he's just like, oh fuck. I'm actually struggling a lot to talk about Passenger just because like what he represents in the context of like Terra as a whole, and also like his ideals and everything and how it connects. You know, it's so much. It's so fucking much. I don't know how to talk about him. It's like fuck, it's so hard. Passenger remains to me the most compelling portrait of a man destroyed by revenge Arknights has ever composed. I think what does differentiate him from so many operators of his kind in AK. Yeah, come on. Yap about him for me. It's so hard to talk about Passenger for me. Oh my god. Passenger is like... Oh my god, it's so hard! It's so hard to talk about Passenger! But he's solidly written. He's the most solidly written character. I think the reason why I have him so high up is because I do want to see another event of Passenger. My problem is that, like, I don't know where they can take his story from here. You know? Is that he committed to it, didn't spend years planning with more peaceful contingencies like SA, didn't wait for a savior or hope like Phantom or Tequila. He took his justice with his own hand. Yeah, he was very ruthless about it. He is way more ruthless than, like, Silver Ash and Gnosis about it. And I think that's why he's so... He's just so... You just want to put him in, like, a fucking terrarium. Like, you just want to put him in a terrarium and shake the jar, you know? I think because, like, his event is about, like, yeah, he wanted revenge, he did the revenge, and now this is what it says about him and, like, the world. And I feel like Passenger's story is best, like, kind of contained to that. And, like, whatever else ambiguousness, like, helps, like, does more for his character than if they continued it with another event to, like, talk about it more. Because Passenger is just one of those characters where you have to, like, just sit with it, you know? You just gotta sit with him. And he fully accepted all the risks that came with that decision. Passenger now just being this void of a man who has no existence now that his reasoning for persisting is gone, drifting like sand is so. Yeah, like, his whole deal is that he did it. This is what happens when you get, like, actually do your revenge. Like, Passenger is what's awaiting Silver Ash if he doesn't fucking get his shit together. Like, he... And I think Passenger, like, his character works best when he is, like, that warning, like, that sign, you know? Maybe they could have, like, another event where they kind of, like, expand on him more, where he finds existence beyond, you know, his revenge and stuff. But I don't think he could be the main character. It would have to be him being in a supporting role doing that, rather than him being, like, the main, like, POV. Tragic but not sympathetic. I also think what makes him so interesting is the fact that he wants to reach out but can't connect with anyone else except Sessa because he sees himself in him as just yeah. Oh my god, his life 2D skin where he is talking with young where he's talking with young Elliot. Fuck. Fuck his voice lines with with young Elliot, with himself in that life 2D skin. It just makes you just like genuinely head in hands, like shit. Okay, I should about him now. I'm genuinely so passionate about him. What a phenomenal character. I think he and Sessa should have an event together where he has a G like role to Sessa's shoe. Yeah. Also, hello, Amu. Welcome to the stream. There's still like halfway of the tier list more here. So, yeah. I do find Silver Ash more appealing though. He comes pre-packed with Gnosis, also high. Yeah. I think Silver Ash becomes more, for me at least, Silver Ash is more, like, interesting alongside Gnosis. Like, that kind of, like, pairing together is good. But Passenger, man, like, he he makes you sit and stare at the wall after you read his event, like, oh, damn. I can't get into it. I cannot get into his life to this skin. I will write you and I say stop. He's my favorite for a reason, man. Yeah. He's genuinely, like, a really solidly written character. And it's like, it's so saddening. It's maddening that people are, like, sleeping on him just because his kit was, like, below mid at the start. But his story is genuinely, like, oh my god. It's so hard to talk about Passenger for me. Yeah. But yeah, that's my opinion on Passenger. He's such a difficult character to talk about. Alright. Uh, anyways, Ginger, that means you have to go now, right? I'm sorry. Hope you have a good day, Ginger. Alright. Tequila. Hmm. This is this is going to be like this might be like a surprise for some people about tequila. So, confession time. Tequila, I didn't read Tequila's event. So I have no idea what his story is. I do know he's a little bit fucked up in the head, though. I do think Tequila is fucked up in the head. I know like he's related to the boss of the event in the story, but I didn't read that story. So I don't know what opinion I have for Tequila in terms of story. However, in terms of kit, very high tier reliable. Very high tier reliable. His like the way that he's like a little bit bulky. Also, hello, I'm sorry, I don't think I said hi to you properly. But hello, welcome to the stream. I didn't feel as much for Passenger in RA as I did in his event. They should have done more of him, IMO. They should just do more with Passenger in general. At least like have him as like a shadow. Just a constant shadow. Dude, you're very fun to talk to. Have fun with the rest of your list. Thank you, Ginger. Unfortunately, I don't have much opinion on Tequila in terms of lore, but in terms of kit, he's a very fun kit to use. Because, just in general, I like that it really introduces to you the concept of the, what are those guards called? The guards where you have to wait for a bit for their school to start, but they don't block until the skill is activated. He was a really good introduction towards that class because he really rewarded you for being like patient, I guess, if that's the way to phrase it. Patient and also just like best like positioning. Like Tequila really tests you on your positioning and timing and like, you know, like decision making. Like, do you want to start his skill now or do you want to wait later and get a bit more damage? You know, it's his kit is very fun. I love using Tequila as a kit. And it's also like very rewarding to play with Tequila as well. Very sad I don't have much of opinion on him story-wise, but yeah. Liberator, yes, thank you. I forgot the fucking name. Yeah, but Tequila just has like that rewardingness that I enjoy. Corosirum. Whoa, what was that? Huh? What was that? Oh, Ginger subscribe. Thank you. Thank you for the subscribe. Okay. I really like Corosirum. Not as much as, yeah. Right next to Jay. I like Corosirum. I think his story of him kind of being like this not minimum wage, but this like office worker that wants to be more because of his experience with his childhood. I think like it's kind of implied that he's like it's just a story, but also it's like obviously it's reflective of Corosirum's wants to be a bit more than an office worker, right? Talking about like this group of kids that this good student used to hung out with that rebelled against like certain, well, I forgot what it was. Showed rebellion in like their own ways through graffiti and stuff. And Korosirum wants to kind of be like that. He does kind of want to be more than an office worker. but something's stopping him because he truly believes that he's meant to be just a normal guy. Unfortunately, he's also not normal. He fucking does poisons. When you put him in a squad, he makes everyone sign contracts to be part of the poison test, which is very funny, very GLaDOS like. But yeah, I think Seram's whole thing about just being a normal guy that wants to be more, but is stopping himself because of one reason or another is very compelling, and I like that. Again, I just really like normal dudes. The normal guy ever, but he has like a thing. Alright, Norcorn. Norcorn. Upset, upset, upset. I did not use Norcorn at all when he and his base form. I don't know. I didn't really like using him. In most situations, I always ended up bringing like another guard or just spot, and like Matterhorn at the time. So I never felt like needing to bring Norcorn, unless it was just for block. But then his event, his Manhunt event. His personality shone so much in that event, and that like really made him like improved him in my eyes so much. Like Norcorn was always kind of like that savvy guy, that cool savvy guy that buys drinks for us. Ooh. But then like in the Monster Hunter event, he genuinely had like that. He genuinely cared. He had that genuinity of like he really cares about Yato and just cares about people in general. And the fact that his module is him like making notes for Yato is the most endearing shit you could make for him. And his personality just caring so much. No, I didn't romance Yato at all, and it made me really mad. Was expecting much more from Monster Hunter event. Well, I think Arknights is just one of those games where you just have to accept that romance will never be a focus. I don't think we will ever get a confirmed couple between the operators in Arknights. It's just not that kind of game. And I don't think it's like that kind of story. It doesn't really like have that kind of story that it wants to explore that either. It is unfortunate because it is like implied noir. Like, you know, Noir and Yato are very close. I think there could be some good out of like them being romanced. But at the same time, the fact that Noir cares so much about Yato, even if it's not romanceable, it doesn't like make me mad at all. Because the degree of care they show towards each other and their dynamic during that event was already enough for me. I do see like a lot of that sentiment though. Actually, people really wanted Noir to romance Yato. Ship's so good. People want it to be canon so bad, which is fair. I think Noir and Yato kind of bring the best out of each other. I like them. I like the two. Genuinely nice guy. It does feel a little bit worrying over how they will continue Noir's story. Oh, I don't know if Monster Hunter is going to be like the end of like the exploration between Noir and Yato. I hope not. I mean, they brought Techno for fucking Thorn's Altar from our Success event. They can bring Noir again in a different event. Hypergriff Riders say, you make your own mileage, folks. We can't. Okay. Next one. Rangers. Shit. I like Rangers. Yeah, somewhere around here. I like Rangers. Rangers is just like... His character is just like being an old guy, right? That has experienced a lot of shit. He has experienced a lot of shit. And especially implied in the first Rainbow Six Siege event. He's fun though. I think there should there be an event focusing on him? I don't actually know. I don't actually know. I think it would be cool though. I think if there was any of the 1-stars that could get an altar, Rangers could get that altar. I think Rangers could get that altar. But he's like really sick now, isn't he? I don't know if he can get an altar, but I wouldn't be upset if he did get an altar. Especially like recent like exploration with Sargon and stuff. I think like Ranger's experience and his his backstory and stuff could be interestingly explored in a Sargon event. But yeah, I don't really have much confidence that he will get an event though. I would love to. I just don't think he will. But yeah, him being like an old wise lizard is good. Can't say much about his kid because he's a 1-star. My god. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 28, 28, 42, I think. Rangers is past his prime. I don't think he'll get an altar. Yeah, he's too old. He's like not hypergriff, Hello levels of old. It's unfortunate. But he is a very cool event though. If he can, he be like a character, reoccurring character. I think that would be good. Even Hoss and Churney. How greedy would it be? How fucking greedy would it be for Evenholz to get another event? It'd be so greedy to say that Evenholz needs to get another event centering around him. But also, like, Evenholz does kind of have that, like, running story that needs, like, a bit of a conclusion. Admittedly, I couldn't read Zwillingstem when it first came out. Hey, now all guys can do things. True. I don't know how much of Ebenholz's whole thing is kind of resolved within Zwillingstem, so you guys might need to help me fill in the gaps for that one. But it really does feel like you could make like you could at least make one other event. You can make one more event featuring Ebenholz to wrap up his story a little bit. But yeah, his like story about grief and his story about you know, being being connected to something more, but not really wanting to be as normal as possible. I like Ebenholz's story. I was really surprised that Ebenholz got like almost back-to-back fucking events. I think a lot of what Ebenholz is very interesting, but there's not really much else to say because his themes is like very simple to talk about. So yeah. Ebenholz's stuff is mostly resolved in Zwillingstem and also gained blessing, so yeah, he doesn't need another event. But I really like Ebenholz. I like the themes that his story and like his whole thing is covering. Very, very suitable for the overall themes of Arknights. It's good. Also, his skill 2 is more fun than a lot of people give credit for. Journey. Also high up here, actually. I want to see another event featuring Journey. Not him as a character. I think he even can appear in events, but he'll be a side character unless the Witch King happens again somehow. Yeah. My opinions is the same for Cherney. I think Cherney should be a side character alongside Ebenholz, where they kind of resolve their whole thing together. Because Cherney really wants to reach out to Eben, and like Eben's whole thing is like not being able to be reached to because of his like whole grief, involving yes, that fucking guy's name. Trade. Yes, I remember. Trade, you know. So I really think Eben's whole thing will be truly resolved once him and Cherney get their like thing resolved too. Because I think we should have like a little side scene of like the story where Ebenholz lets Cherney reach out to him, and alongside Hibiscus Alter. That's my opinion. I think Cherney's determination to live and to survive is such like a good contrast in comparison to Ebenholz, especially considering his background of like, you know, being infected and living in the slums, before being picked up by by what was her name again? Fucking Greta? Greta, wasn't it? Or something? And they kind of have like a very interesting dynamic here. So I want to see that kind of explored more once again, and that being resolved fully. Cherney's also just has a fun kid in general. I like Cherney's he's such a bulky fucking arts defender, and him and his like nuke his arts nuke at the end of his skill is also really nice. I like it a lot. Also has a nice skin too. Jenny is a nice skin. Bryophyta. I like Bryophyta. Again, it's like Bryophyta is just another guy. He appears in the Adele event where his whole thing is just being like normal, right? His whole thing is just being another guy who's kind of dealing with living in Terra, as you usually do. But Bryophyta, a lot of people thought Bryophyta was a bit of filler in the Adele event. In my opinion, I think Bryophyta was very important in the Adele event to kind of bring it back, that little sense of realism towards the Adele event, because the Adele event is very like, you know, has a lot of things going on. We got flying pink sheep, we got fucking bisons and swires, whole entire deal. And then we just have Bryophyta, who is just genuinely trying to make a living and making a future for him and his family. And that one little scene of realism where he is overwhelmed by all his responsibilities and what he needs to do in order to make sure his family can live comfortably, and he breaks down by slamming his head onto the wheel of the truck that he's in, or the wheel of the van that he's in. That is like a genuine, like, raw moment of real in a very silly event, which I really, really enjoyed. I think Bryophyta was a good addition towards the event. Some people some people will disagree, but I think Bryophyta was a very much needed sense of like realism, real towards that event. His kit I don't use it as much as I should. It's okay. I think it's an okay kit. I use it. Bryophyta is such a nothing burger, honestly, he would have been better as an NPC. I kind of disagree with that. I think, again, because Arknights has such like a huge emphasis on the people in the world, right? The people that are experiencing like big events and what it means to be like a normal person within the world of Terra. I think Bryophyta is a good addition to that as well. I like Bryophyta, and his whole thing about like Was it joining Rose Island or leaving fucking the name of that city. Was it Siesta? Yeah, New Siesta. Him leaving New Siesta to kind of like build his own life outside of his family and stuff. Is good. I like that. Sharp! 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 We need more events featuring Sharp. We need more events featuring Sharp as a character. He absolutely deserves it. My source, I made it the fuck up. The source vibes. Sharp deserves more screen time. He's just that cool of a dude. I don't really have much to say about Sharp. He's just like, his interaction with Deegan Breaker was pretty fun. In the Jirag event. I don't know if they will ever make an event featuring Sharp, and I don't think so. They would never. But I like Sharp a lot. Every time he's in an event, I'm like that one meme. Is it? Those two guys, like those guys on couch pointing. This is me every time Sharp is like mentioned or seen. Yeah. Me when Sharp. Speaking of nothing burger characters, I don't really feel much for Ak. To be honest, again, like I don't really feel much for Ak. I don't know why. I feel like I should like Ak, but something about him, I don't really care for it. I don't really care for his like character personality. I think his interaction with Warframe is very funny. His story with like Warframe is very funny, and him being a dubious doctor. Dubious quote-unquote doctor. Dubious like quote-unquote doctor is, you know, kind of funny. But I don't feel anything. I'm sorry. Ak is awesome, what do you mean? I'm sorry! I don't know. Usually, like, I'm very big on, like, buffs and debuff, like, operators as well. But like Ak's kid, like being a very straightforward buffing thing, it's just not very fun to use. It's just not. His stunning makes him a cool sniper, but I don't feel like I can play with Ak the same way I can play with a lot of the other operators. I don't know. His stunning and like being a snipers. His stunning and like attacking when he attacks enemies is pretty fun. But aside from that, I don't really care. I really don't care for Ak. I guess it's the same reason I don't really like Lee. It feels Ak has everything that I feel like I should like about a character. I don't know. Whatever. He's the most fun member of Lee's DA. I think that those are like another part of his like character trait. Like anime has like this archetype of character where it's like the rambunctious, you know, fucking chaotic guy in anime, and not gonna lie, I've always found those kind of guys kind of obnoxious. This is gonna be like so unrelated, but in this recent anime I'm watching like called The Elusive Samurai, and has the character called Genba, and Genba reminds me of Ak, and I don't like Genba. I I don't like. I don't know. I just don't like these kind of like chaotic gremlin characters. They're not my thing, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I prefer a little bit more genuinity. I don't even remember what this guy's name is. I feel like this is like one of the few operators that I can't remember the name of. Who is this fucker? I know he's another elite operator. I can't even remember who he is. I do remember him in IS though. He's reliable. He's a good sniper. Warfrin. I'm sorry, what were we talking about? Don't worry about it, old man. 12F. 12F has this kind of like advantage to being Storm Eye. Fuck, I can't remember his fucking name. Storm Eye, yeah. He's another elite operator. I sometimes use him in IS. I don't really feel much for him, except that he's a pretty good sniper from what I remember. So yeah. I'm sorry, Storm Eye. I don't even, like, I can't really remember much of the elite operators lore anyways. 12F have, like, the advantage just for him having that, iconicness, if that's the word for it. Just like him being the voice for the developers, especially in that one part. I forget where like 12F talks directly to the player. Yeah, he has like that advantage for being the for being that kind of like voice for when they talks directly to the player. But I never really use much of his kit, obviously being a 1-star. That's just kind of inevitable. But also like his story in general, I don't really like care much for it. But obviously him kind of like being the voice for the developer towards the player gives him kind of a lot of sentimentality that I also agree with a lot. So I don't know. I'll probably put him in. I really like you. Very low, I really like you. Just because of that. It's just because of that. There's like a little air of mysteriousness to him. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Xiao is such like a... Xiaohei is a very 12F is literally low light and low light is base. Yeah. I feel like if I put 12F like lower, people will get angry. Xiaohei is a very hard character to rank for me because I watched his cartoon. I watched his animation and I love it so much. I love Xiaohei's The Legend of Xiaohei is such a good animation, genuinely. I recommend anyone to watch that animation. It's so good. It's so good. I remember the animation like going all over Twitter because people were like, people were being so cringe. People were being like, "Oh my god, the Chinese animation looks just as good as anime." And it's like, fuck off. Fuck off. You're so fucking cringe. But yeah, I love Xiaohei. His movies. I've even watched like the web series as well. It's good. I really love it a lot. His story in the event was also pretty cute. He lives with the Lee agency. And like him in that as well. It was just generally like a very fluffy kind of event. So yeah. I think another low I really like you. Like Xiaohei. Genuinely recommend anyone to watch Xiaohei. Whew. Alright, Mlinar. Mlinar. Damn. Should have gotten his master too, probably. Mlinar, damn. Lo, I really love you. Please get an event. I need an event where Mlinar gets fucking beaten down. I need an event where Mlinar gets proven wrong. I want to see him get fucking beaten up by the rest of the Neurals. I need to see him. I need to see him get fucking proven wrong. That's what I tell you a thing. His story of just like losing that hope, just like kind of like being the representation in Arknights of what happens when you lose that hope and kind of give in to cynicism a little bit, where you kind of give into that cynicalness, is like really good. I like that. But him still having like that shiny, tiny glimmer of like hope a little bit, I guess, if that's the right word for it. Where he's like, you know, he doesn't show it, but he's not completely dead inside, you know? he does show like the tiniest bit of the qualities of a knight, because he used to have that. So it will obviously still be with him, but it's just gone because of like what he experienced. And I think that's a very compelling kind of character to have, and I kind of want to see an event where he gets expanded on a little bit more. Kit-wise, I don't like playing Mlinar. Kit-wise, and that's not me being like, ooh, I'm a based fucking niche knights player. I don't fucking I don't like the popular stuff. No. I'm not part of the group think, thus I'm better than all of you. No. I want to be part of the group think. I want to think Mlinar is a cool, fun character to play. But like, I don't know. In comparison to Tequila, Mlinar doesn't really have as much of the what is it? The thinking that comes with like playing Tequila versus Mlinar. You kind of just put him and you don't worry about him ever again. Which is strange, because that's something that I praise Mountain for, but for Mlinar, I don't know. I think the way Tequila represented the class was a lot better than Mlinar. But his story is interesting. I like his story. Minimalist is a high I really like. I don't think Minimalist can ever get like an event, but I really love Minimalist. I relate to Minimalist on such like a deep level, being somebody who has like that kind of low self-esteem. Mlinar has taunt, which is very good. Yeah, it supports his class a lot. But yeah, I don't really find Mlinar as fun to play with. He's carried solely by his character and his story. Minimalist I really enjoy. I love his story within the Gaviel altar event, where he gives off the air that he is very confident, but he actually does kind of like have a lot of humbleness and a lot of self-esteem issues and stuff like that. And I really relate to that a lot. His whole deal about like not liking to talk a lot about his art, because he wants his art to speak for itself, he wants his work to speak for itself, is a very compelling character trait to have. And the boss not just kind of like being a representation of minimalist headspace is very interesting as a boss idea. I don't think they really do that kind of idea. For that kind of boss ever again. So I really like Minimalist. Him being like the quote-unquote kind of antagonist of the story because of his like issues, his personal issues, is good. I like that. I dislike Margaret. Honestly, so Mlinar is a better neural. I'll take your Margaret. Yeah, we'll take the handsome horse, princess. Yeah. So I have guests over, so I'm gonna leave. Have a good stream, though. I'm gonna watch the VOD later. Yeah, sure. Later I will be turning this stream into like an edited video. So hopefully you'll see that as well. Thanks for dropping by, Amu. It was nice talking to you. Anyways, yeah. I like Minimalist. I think he's cool. I don't think he can get an event, but he's very high up here. I enjoy. Stainless, 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 stainless. Yeah, I like him. Stainless is fun. Stainless is and also like another interesting character for the main chapter of the story, of him like fighting for what's best, for what's right within the main story, and that kind of like helping to support like the themes of the main chapter is very good. He's a very good character in my opinion. His kit is also like very fun. I like that you have to think using his kit. Unfortunately, I'm a bit too dumb to use his kit, so I can't effectively use it as much as other kits. But I really like Stainless. Yeah, not much else to say. He's a good boy. Also has the best theme. Sorry, he has the best song. He has the best song out of all the characters here. One of the best. Hotter. Oh man. Hotter. Very high reliable. His story is just like him being a actually, yeah, sure. I really like Totter. His story being like it's like a kind of like a guy that wants to live normally in his cabin, but coming back occasionally to help people is very nice. I like that. Again, huge normal guy enjoyer. And his kid is also really good. Oh my god. When you find that Totter tile, where if there's invisible enemies and there's just like one big guy you gotta kill, oh my god, is Totter so fun to use in that scenario. He is amazing. Also just like generally like in like normal stuff as well, he's also really good. His skill where he can target more than 2 targets is pretty handy and does well against like low to medium enemies. So yeah, I think Totter is good. He's just like a well-rounded operator, both in terms of like story and like kit. I think I like him very much for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep him there. Ha! I win. Another guy that I really like, for the same reason I like Chestnut. So many people take for granted his fucking like thing where he puts people up in air. That is so good. When you it's good for the same reason I like Frozen. It just makes them stop. When you're having trouble, you just make them stop with Kani Palat's skill. And it's neat. I'm genuinely confused that they don't have more operators that use this type of effect. I think only so far it's Irene. The most recent one is Oda. Wait, do I have Oda here? Yeah, Oda's there. Yeah. There should be more though. Like the whole thing about like weight, using weight as like a means of like causing damage is good. That's a really fun mechanic. Vigil. Ho'olhea. That's so good. His story is pretty much, very much, I don't think I want another Vigil event because I think his story is pretty much wrapped up in not only his own event but probably in the Lapland Altar event as well. His whole thing about becoming mayor to make fuck, what's the name? What's the name of that place? What's Italy? What's Arknights Italy? I'm losing my mind. Siracusa. Okay, sorry. Siracusa. Where he wants to make Siracusa a better place because, like, he was literally part of the mafia and wants to be better because of it. And, like, yeah, Siracusa. he doesn't look like a character that would be naive in that kind of sense. But he does have, like, that little bit of naivete that he has despite knowing how Siracusa is. And I find that very compelling. I like it. Also, his relationship with his boyfriend is very cute. I don't think he could have his own event. I think it's pretty much resolved. Pretty much like his whole thing is pretty much explored in the Lapland Altar event and like his own event. So I don't think he could get an event, but I do really like Vigil. His kid is also really fun. A lot more fun than a lot of people give credit for. People get on the wolves a lot, but the wolves is like three guaranteed hits. So I think there's like a lot of usefulness towards his kid as well. I enjoy. Fun. Oh my god, we're almost at the last stretch. Puzzle. I think he's reliable. I don't really know much about Puzzle's story aside from the fact that he's an agent and is constantly like kind of like a bit of a spy character. That's like from Victoria. That's really like my only knowledge of Puzzle as a character. But I love Puzzle's kid. I always found it really fun. I remember when I first saw it, the poison thing. I was like, oh my god, they remembered the poison. I enjoy it. Also very handy kit as well. I like it. I'm teaching myself on how to use Puzzle just because I want to bring him more and I like his vibe. I like that his skin implies that he's a lot more relaxed than the like image that he's giving off here. Because Puzzle looks very refined here. It looks very, you know, very formal. But then in his skin, it's implied that he's meant to be a lot more relaxed than he is, and this is just his job. I think I like that like little tiny bit of depth for Puzzle. That's very cool. Also, bars can basically up the wolf survivability. Yeah, Civilla Eterna helps. Chong bro. I like him. I don't think he can get an event because I don't know. I want Chongye to appear again in an event, but it comes with the fact that like a lot of the dragon siblings, they get like one event focusing on them and that's it, and then in any other event they become like supporting characters. But I think I really want Chongye to appear again as a side character. I think he will, but like his whole thing is about like wanting to step back and leaving it to the people. his people to kind of decide the things, the future of Lungmin. I like he will at the near the end of the Sui Saga. Yeah, he will appear again in the Sui Saga, but most likely at the end. I don't know. I like Chongye a lot. His obviously like being the first Sui older brother is, you know, giving him a lot of advantage. And his kit is also, ooh, excuse me. It's also quite fun. I like that it's more interactive than Mountains a little bit. And that range, I really like his cross range. His like little cross range, because like you can do some cool wall hacks. It's fun. I like it. I like Chongye's kit and I like his story. I like how each Sui sibling is trying to do their own thing, has their own way of like wanting to deal with the calamity that they bring. And Chongye just has like his own particular, he's more like he wants to guide the people. So yeah. I like Chongye. He like genuinely wants the best. Hummus! I quite like Hummus. I like his character. His kid is actually quite fun too. I enjoy it. Not much else to say, because again, he's just a normal guy that likes recycling. I think it's very funny though that he mentions Cherney. He mentions Cherney in his model story. That is so funny. This rough and tough fucking guy who doesn't know much about like fancy hoity-toity stuff, but he comments on Cherney's music. That's really funny. I like that. Oh my god, I just remembered Hummus's whole thing about being a prisoner and then learning how to be resourceful because he was a prisoner, and his father trying to find him again. It's actually like a very sad, like his little story is actually very sad. Again, it's like another look into the normal life of Arknights, of the people of Arknights. And there are just people like Hummus everywhere in Terra, where they have very kind of like little touching stories like that just happen, and is just part of life. And I like that. Hummus is a nice character. Insider. Insider deserved more, I think. Insider deserved more, a bit more like fleshing out, I think. He was very funny in the recent event. I liked him. Him kind of like being surprisingly enough being like the normal the normal guy that's keeping Executor back and keeping him normal is very funny. Insider is totally just a guy. Yeah, he's totally just a guy, you guys. He's totally just a man. He's like the most normal guy ever. Please don't look into things further. I actually really like Insider's personality a lot. The way he has that kind of like playfulness to it. Oh my god. He really tries to mask himself as like a normal guy, but he's a little bit different because he still kind of like does things a bit playfully. I like that. He's strong enough to keep Executor in check. Come on now. Yeah, I like him. I think Insider is the type of balance that Spuria and Executor kind of need. I like him. Him being that senpai is nice. Hoderer. 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 Yeah, somewhere around here. Actually, I like Hoderer a lot. I think Hoderer's whole thing about wanting to keep the sarcasm traditions alive, and his whole thing about wanting to teach the children rhymes towards children, and him genuinely wanting the best future for the sarcasm at Kesdel. Well, not Kesdel, maybe just the sarcasm. The best future for the sarcasm, and he's constantly thinking about it and worrying about. He doesn't just want to hand down the suffering of the sarcasm. He genuinely wants the good of sarcasm to keep going, to live and survive. And he wants that despite being a mercenary himself is genuinely really touching. I think that's a very, I think he's a very, he's that, little sense of maturity and also that, little bit of hopefulness that is kind of needed within the trio of W and Ines. Okay, sorry. Hodor is I think it's also implied that Hodor is the oldest between the three anyways. So it kind of makes sense that he has that want of wanting the good traditions of the sarcasm to be passed down and worrying about that and stuff. I think Hodor is just a very, very interesting character. And his fucking homoerotic tension between him and Manfred. The way Manfred knows that Hodor is betraying him and yet lets him still do whatever he wants anyways is so funny. Prudent. High reliable. I really like you. Reliable, and I really like you. Again, another just normal guy who's really into plants, and became a college graduate and didn't know fighting was part of the job description. Again, I have a soft spot for those types of characters. And his whole deal about wanting to explore and finding a plant that is that he can name is very cool. I do think it's very funny though that he's constantly being I can't believe I have to do a physical confrontation like this. Oh, it's so scary. And then his skill voice lines is him saying the most anime shonen shit that you say before you kill somebody. It's so funny. And then by the end of it, he's also just okay, so we're done, right? We can leave. We can go, right? But then when you actually have him fight in battle, he's saying the most violent shit you could say. It's very funny. I also just think he's a good doll keeper operator in general. Baseline. Good. He's a good operator. Good defender healer. Again, I didn't read Sealing Stone, so I'm not too sure about his personality. But I do know he has a whole ass funny thing with Executor, so he gets a good pass here. He mostly gets a lot of the pass here just because he's a really good healing defender. One of the better ones in my opinion. Probably better than Hung. But yeah. He gets like a pass just because I think he has like a funny thing with Executor. Let's sing. Speaking of having funny things. Lissing was such a good addition towards Ebenholz. At least that's what I've heard. Again, I didn't read Zwillingstem, but I really like his kit. I think his personality is also very cute. Especially his whole thing with Ebenholz as well. It's very sweet. Baseline is slightly better now, yeah. Lissing's whole thing about serving the Witch King, who is Ebenholz, but Ebenholz doesn't want to be the Witch King, is the most interesting dynamic I've ever seen ever. Lissing, who thinks that he has to serve like this stuffy guy, this stuffy royal guy that he's gonna hate, but then finding out he really likes Ebenholz is good. I love that. I want to see more of Lissing. I just don't know what more of Lissing they could show. But I haven't read Zwillingstem, so I'm not too sure. That opinion could change. But yeah. Also, his thing about like not being affected by effects is, yeah, it's very niche, but also like it works for him because his whole thing is about dealing as much damage as a Dreadnought guard, and Dreadnought guards can't do damage if they're frozen. So checkmate, I guess. Diamante makes me sad. Harold. Okay, no. Diamante, I don't know. I have no opinion on Diamante whatsoever. I also don't really like his kit all too much. I know he's meant to be like a Phantom Thief character. That reminds me of that one meme with the dad and kid with the trombone and oven. But yeah, Diamante, he probably has a cool thing going on. He's a Phantom Thief. He's and I don't think his kit is completely unusable. I just don't know how to use it. It could be good to be paired with Logos and Ebenholz. It could be a good kit. Unfortunately, I don't really care for him that much. And I don't really like his design too much either. Sorry, Diamante. Harold! Yeah. Harold is solid. Harold is a good character. Harold is a funny fucking character in the recent Jireg event. It's also funny that he can break from CC, so if Ibn had ever inherited the Witch King powers and went out of control and CC'd everyone, he can snap out of it. Much headcanoning abounds. Yeah. I like Harold. Harold's a solid character in the event. I think he's a very compelling character to me. Very, like, outstanding character. Him being a general and hating war. Is pretty much done to death in a lot of other media, but in Harold's case, I think he makes it like a little bit more unique by the fact that he has that kind of like joyousness, I think. He's a bit more likable. I like him. And him having a prosthetic, having a cane, being like one of the few characters with a prosthetic and a cane, is really good. I like that. I really like that about Harold. He also loves blind boxes. Man's relatable, yeah. Did you guys know that in Harold's skin, he puts stickers on his prosthetic? Which I know is not much, but I think in terms of like prosthetic representation, I feel like that's a very very sweet thing. Because I think there's a lot of people with prosthetics out there. Because if I had a prosthetic, I would probably put a shit ton of stickers there too. Him having a cane and a prosthetic is obviously I'm not amputee, so I don't know how good of a representation that is. But from what I have seen from the experiences of people who are amputees, that's pretty good representation, and I like that. I think I think Harold is a really good character for that. We need more characters with prosthetics. This is going to be a short stream 3 hours later, I know. Thankfully, we're actually reaching the characters who I'm probably not going to have much to say on about because they're only in CN. I mean, for the time I had a leg plaster, I doodled on it. Yeah! I think it's very cute. Also, it's just nice to have like a character with a prosthetic that's also presented as like being chic and being very stylish with it. I think a lot of like prosthetic characters, they tend to be like tech nerds who build their own prosthetics and they look a little bit jank and stuff like that, which is also good. But also like, I think some people with prosthetics also want to look nice too. I think that makes Harold good. He's also just a good character in general. Good healing too. Logos! 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 Logos is one of the most hyped characters. This is again basic bitch answer. Okay, everyone loved Logos, fucking whatever. But I remember being so hyped for Logos. I loved Logos so much. I wanted to know more about him. He's just like very cool. Him deciding to become the harbinger for a lot of Sarkast souls in order to pass on was a good like kind of expansion on his character of like being he's not a Wendigo. What is this type again? What is this demon name? I'm losing my mind. What is his race? He's a Sarkast, but what is his specific demon? It's not Wendigo. Banshee! Yeah, Banshee. Thank you. You know, being a Banshee. Banshees are like meant to be a signifier of death. You know, like if you hear a Banshee, it means like, you know, death's coming. So him being like the person that is willing to bring peace towards the Sarkast souls is good. I like that. Not Reaper, Banshee. Not necessarily Reaper. He's just guiding the souls now. I believe that's his story now. I think he was able to... I could be wrong on this. He was able to feel the passing of certain operators. Not operators. Like, he could feel the passing of souls. Like, he knew when someone passed away. So now he, like, brings peace to those souls now. Which I think is very nice. It's, again, Logos looks like a character that should be very cold. But there's a lot of warmth towards him. A lot of like genuine care he has towards the people around him, because even though he's like the prince of even though he's like the heir of the Banshee throne or whatever, he's still working for Rose Island, and working for Rose Island means that you have something that you're fighting for, something that you want good to happen. And I think Logos is a good signifier of that. I like Logos. He's a very solid character. Have you seen the really elaborate filigree prosthetics? HFS, they're awesome. I've never heard of that, actually. Filigree. Like Sharon? I feel like I know what you're saying. But is that how filigree? Yeah, that's how it's spelled. Huh, can't see it. Oh, here it is, here it is. I think this should be it. Yeah. It's fine. It is a cool. That's not the one you can send it in the Discord server or in my Discord. Oh my god, Zoli, I love you! saying that he does it. Okay, I don't think I've ever like expanded on it. I think Logos should also get like another event as well. I think Logos can fit like another event to him. Something to just like expand on him a little bit more. Maybe that's a bit greedy, but I want to see more. I want to see more of Logos. Anyways, Zwale. I love Zwale. Zwale is awesome. I don't think he can get another event. I think he'll probably be like another side character, but I also wouldn't complain if he got an event, because I think not necessarily get like an altar, but him getting like kind of having like another main POV to kind of wrap up the feelings, like his whole deal of like wanting to be more beyond the office work that he has to do, and like wanting to prove that he is more than just a nepo baby. I think having an event where he proves himself would be pretty good. Also, his kit is fun. I love using his kit. One of the most fun kits I've ever had. Let me put these guys away first. This one's all reliable. These are the reserve members. All of these very useful guys within IS. That's good. All reliable. Some of these people I don't have an opinion on. Oda! How much more of him? I need more. More. Wait, where did I put Oda? Okay, here. Oda, I like him. I don't think he could have his own event, but I think the way he represents the old Babel, the old Rose Island, and him remembering the doctor from the old Rose Island is interesting. I like him a lot. I don't think he can be in an event, but I think he can kind of be like a side kind of character. If there is an event, I hope he's featured alongside Flamebringer. They have a lot to talk about. Him also just like being a bit more sadder, constantly like questioning why can't days be happy? Why can't we be happy? Why do like happy days need to end? Why do we need to experience this? All of this is very compelling in the perspective of a Rhodes Island operator, because again it connects back to the theme of Rhodes Island in general, of like, why do we struggle so much for a better world? Why do we struggle so much against, like, why do we have to experience all of these things? Why do we need to experience bad things as well? And connecting him to like that whole theme of this Rose Island in general, of like, we have to of the answer being basically we just have to for a better future. We just need to. It's good. I like Oda's character a lot. And I also like his kid a lot. I enjoy the Crusher. He's not a Crusher. Dumb. What is Oda? No, it's not there. Here? No, not him. What is Oda's class? Oda. He is Sarcas, blah, blah, blah. Earthshaker. Yeah, sorry. Thank you. I don't know why I thought he was a crusher. He's not a crusher, he's an earthshaker. I like earthshakers a lot. I'm enjoying earthshakers because of him. Again, I like the his whole thing about like bringing people up in the air. It looks cool. It feels cool to use. It's awesome. I like Oda's kit, and I like his character a lot. It's very sad. But yeah, just like the conclusion of we need to fight because we just have to, and we suffer so others don't have to. And again, like we're bringing that back to the theme of sacrifice in chapter 14. Whoa, 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 whoa. Munching. Sleeper. Actually, yeah. Sleeper. Sleeper fucking good operator here. He is very good. Just like him being a flag bearer that heals and also does attack speed buffs is good. That makes him a better Vanguard, in my opinion. He's already like a really useful Vanguard just in that respects, and him being a welfare operator is also helps him a lot. I like his characteristics of being a very hard worker and working really close to Shu as well. He's just raised on like helping people and being a hard worker, almost like kind of like a, I don't want to say foil, but he's definitely like a reflection of what Zuele wants to be. Someone who is like helping others just purely from his own hard work, and also like just because he's able to, and not like simply because, and like causing like actual change, like doing an actual change, and it's like, I don't know, not just a nepo baby, I guess. I like Wanching's character. The fact that he is the one that has to teach Zoile around is really funny. I enjoy that. Alright. Okay. Let me take out some of these guys that I don't really have an opinion of. No opinion. Figurino, I am quite excited. I really like you. I like Figurino. His design and his kit being a merchant is very interesting to me. I'm tentative though. I don't know what his story is, and I'm not sure how his kit will be, but excited. I will always welcome a new merchant. Shakuden is, I like Shakuden. I like him in the anime. There's no Laios here, I just realized. Shit. Well, the Laios is here somewhere. put his head somewhere around here. He's around here somewhere. I have no opinion on. I feel like he could be reliable. I feel like MITM could be reliable just from the kit I've seen. I don't know what his story is, but I see some potential in him that I'm hoping I'll be able to feel once I actually play him. Stand Reckoning. Let me look at his design again. Because all I have based on him is his design, and I'll be honest. Not too sure how I feel about the design. Because like, from what I've seen, he's meant to kind of like have the themes of Ra. You know, Ra's whole thing is about losing an eye. Losing an eye. And I feel like Sand Reckoning could have like a bit more of that. I feel like Sand Reckoning's design could be a little bit better. I still kind of like it though. Sand Reckoning. I think I'll say I have no opinion on him. I'm still on the fence about Sand Reckoning. think his kit could be fun though. That's my thing. Tin Man, I also... He's like, his whole thing is about being an old person. He's ancient. Like, he's ancient. I've enjoyed like some of his appearances so far, but I don't really feel like it made much of an impact on me. So I'm going to say no opinion for now. I'm a bit on the fence about him. Okay, I'll leave All Pianist for last because he is the latest one. Bobbing. I have a bit more to say about Bobbing. I really like Bobbing. I think Bobbing could be a very interesting character to me. Again, he's a normal guy who is trying to do good in the world. But the thing that makes Bobbing very interesting is the fact that I've seen his translation. I was really convinced. This is funny. I was really convinced that Bobbing was fucked up in the head. I was really convinced that he's like secretly a yandere or something because he just has that vibe to me. No. Well, still kind of fucked up in the head. He's basically Lumen, but a bit more realistic and a bit more cynical. Bobbing used to be like not as he has like his stories about being kind of a burnt out gifted kid kind of vibe. He really believed he was going to do he had the ability to do a lot of good things in the world. I think he was given like an arts staff thing by like some other people, and he genuinely believed that he would do good. He was because at the time he was like better than others, but then as he grew up and as he advanced his education, he slowly started to realize that, oh shit, I'm not as good as I thought I was. I'm just like kind of average in comparison to all the others, and my arts... I forgot what it's called. Fuck. The words. What do they call it? It's not art staff. It's like... There's a specific word for it. I forget. It's not a wand. His arts... Fuck it, I can't remember. His art staff was like... not the best. From what I remember, he was given to it by like a few seniors or something, or by a teacher or a mentor, I forgot. And he slowly started to realize that he wasn't as good as he thought he was, because he had that gifted, he basically had gifted kid syndrome. And his solution to dealing with that was by getting into activism, was by like helping other infected. In his very own words, within the translated module of his story, he said like, he said, people treated me as a charity case. Not Rod, it's a... Shit. That's gonna focus? No, not focus either. Actually, yeah, sure. Not totem. Hold on. I know it's mentioned in Stewart's thing. We're pausing just a second. Stewart and my last name. Let's see. Oh, I guess it's like casting tool then. I guess it's a casting tool. That's what the thing calls it. I remember there was another like specialized word for it though, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah. Bobbing. Yes, that's the word. Arts unit device. Fuck. Not fetish, Jay. Yeah, arts unit device. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for all this time. I'm really tired. But yeah, Bobbing. Bobbing got into like wanting to help the infected, not because he actually, which is an actual thing and not just a sex thing. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Bobbing got into helping the infected, not because he actually wanted to be, and not actually because he wanted to help people, but because he wanted to feel a sense of superiority, because he wanted to be the person above the infected. He wanted to be the infected, like, probably not as like as as dramatic, but he wanted to be like the people above the infected, because obviously no one else is lower than the infected, so that's the only way he can feel superior about himself. And he was called out on that shit basically instantly. The moment he walked into that office and sat down to take the interview, the guy that was interviewing was like, "Why do you want to help?" And that instantly called Bobbing out. And he's basically learning how to kind of he's basically learning how to kind of still help people, because you still need to help people, but learning how to have like better intention behind it that's healthier for him and the people around him as well. And I think that's very interesting. It's a very compelling character. And the fact that he's also like genuinely a good person now, in the landship now, because of that call out, I think it's like one of the most I've ever seen Arknights directly say anything about that type of topic. He's a very good character. I really want to know more about him later once he arrives in Global. And finally, all pianists. I don't know if we'll get an event featuring all pianists, but I really like all pianists. All pianists is a very solid character. His kit is fun. I think he has one of the coolest kits ever. Also, shout out to all pianists for being the only male knights puller. He's technically the only male knights puller. Yeah. All pianist is a good character. The fact that his whole thing was about being one of the most prodigious. Sorry, I'm slurring my words a little bit. He was one of the top guys of his field, and he wants genuinely the best for A gear as well. But he was like so destructive about it as well, because he was looking over the Abyssal Hunter project, and it ended with him assimilating to the Seaborn, basically accepting the Seaborn, for the sole purpose of like wanting to find their weaknesses. Says a lot about him as a character. And him especially that was like that small moment, him in contrast with Gladia, and also just like in contrast with a lot of other characters, Gladia, Secunda, Lumen, stuff like that. The fact that his character was really was kind of integral towards like their like small little arcs in their own small little arcs in the events, where he's kind of like where his experiences is kind of helping guiding them a little bit. I think that's cool. I think Alpinus is a really good, solid character. He's a solidly tragic character as well. The fact that he's so willing to just go this far, for the sake of what he thinks is good, is like, it's tragic. I also think that it's really interesting that all pianists, one of the reasons why they didn't agree Secunda into taking Secunda into the Abyssal Hunter project was because they didn't want another all pianist, and all pianists agreed to that. Shows like a level of awareness that he has about himself, and yet he still has the willingness to go through with what he does anyways. That's something. Says a lot about him. Yeah, I like him. And that's the final. That's all the male operators. Oh, I'm so fucking tired. Okay. There it goes. And that's all the male operators. I hope I yapped enough. I hope y'all found that interesting, my opinions interesting. I didn't expect to have so much to say about all the characters. But I did, in the end. Very cool. Oh, shoot. What is alligator? Yeah. Okay, I just saw something really cute. Thanks everyone for dropping in. I think I'll just end the stream here. I don't think there's even anyone to raid at this time. At this fight, at this time. There's really no one. There's no one to raid at this time. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming in here. This was tiring. I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed. I have to wake up. I have to leave the house at 10 a.m. tomorrow. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go pass out. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to... You guys have a good night. Good rest. Stay safe, my foresty friends. Bye-bye! I had so much fun this stream. I can't wait to turn this into an actual video. Alright, bye! Thank you to Sheep, Jay, Amu, Ginger, Skyoshi, and Kaiser, I think a little bit at the top there. Yeah. Thanks everyone. I appreciate it. Stay safe, my foresty friends.